Hey everybody, we're still on our mid-season break, not a mid-season break, I suppose, our between seasons break. We're on break, is what I'm saying. The first episode of the new season will be on 2 weeks from now, basically. It won't be this episode, it won't be next episode, but it will be after that. But while we're waiting, we figured there's still fun stuff to share with you, to show you, including the stuff we've been doing in the last couple of weeks. This week, I wanted to present something that we've done in the past. Now, for people who listen to this show, you know that we talk a lot about other fun podcasts that we work with and that we like. And one that we have been on quite a few times is Finish It. Finish It is a fantastic show where the Yule brothers, Matt and Chris, play through Choose Your Own Adventure books and try and get 100% of the pages and endings of those books. It is a fantastic show that we absolutely love. And we love being guests on it. And we frequently appear every January around Australia Day. We appear to read through Struggle Down Under, which is a Choose Your Own Adventure book set in Australia. It is fun and weird and ridiculous. And we've been doing it for quite a while now, appearing every year to read another read of that book, do another run, make all the hopefully different choices and find new endings. We're going to do that again this year. We will be on Finish It quite soon. And I thought maybe to prepare you, if you haven't listened to us on Struggle Down Under, I would present here on the Escape This podcast feed the first time we ever appeared playing Struggle Down Under on Finish It. So in a second, that episode will start. But I hope you enjoyed Danny and me joining the Yule brothers to play through a fun Australia-themed Choose Your Own Adventure book. And if you love it, there's a bunch more you can catch up on in preparation for the episode at the end of this month, where we'll be doing it again. So here we are, presented for your appreciation, Struggle Down Under.
Hi, I'm Matt Yule.
Hi, I'm Chris Yule.
Hi, I'm Bill Yule.
Oh no, this didn't go where I thought it was going. Hi, I'm Danny Christmas. No, oh my God, I know a Danny Christmas. I can't do that. I've ruined everything.
Bill Yule is my grandpa.
Danny Chris. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Welcome to Finish It.
The Completionist Choose Your Own Adventure podcast.
Every page, every ending, every book, everybody get excited because we have Bill and Danny here joining us for this very special episode as very special guests from Escape This podcast and Solve This Murder podcast. Thank you guys for being here. Yay!
I cannot wait. Ever since discovering you guys' show, it's all I've wanted.
So I'm not Bill Yule. Hi, I'm Bill Sunderland. This is Danny Silla.
Hey.
We make Escape This podcast, which is an audio-only escape room podcast where Danny makes escape rooms and we have guests come on and play through those rooms. And actually, on the day this comes out, I'm pretty sure in a few days, or maybe the same day, I don't know, you are guests on our show to finish off our arc of Chronomaly.
It's a crossover week.
A lot of fun.
It's really exciting.
Yeah.
It's a big crossover
Perfect.
week. Our thing is out on Tuesday. Your thing is out on Wednesday, I think. So
Our
with time
Wednesday,
difference.
so yeah.
But with
on
pretty
time
much the
difference
same
tomorrow.
So as soon as you've listened to this, go and listen to part 10 of a 10-part series with no context at all.
We've
Wrong.
been telling people for a couple of weeks, make sure to catch up. So you got you don't have the weekend. You have the weekend from when I'm recording this to catch up. If you're listening to it like a regular person after it's been recorded, then you have tonight. So get to work. But yeah, episode 10 comes out tomorrow. And also, if you get a chance to guest on Escape This podcast, if they offer it to you, definitely do it. It was really fun. We were quite nervous because escape rooms are scary, but it was great. It was really fun.
Yeah, and it's it's 10.
so
This arc is 10 episodes, and they're all really fun. And 10 episodes is the perfect amount to like sink your teeth into, but it's not intimidating. Just do
It's
it.
a bingeable
It's
amount.
fun. It's a real
so
good time.
fun. So
Listen,
fun.
it's a good arc. There's some good guests. The Yules finish it off. We got
He's allowed to say this because I wrote it.
escape room reviewers and creators. We have Neil Patrick Harris and Brent Bushnell on. We have
Jason Ritter and PG Law.
We've got all these amazing people. So go listen to it. It's great fun and it's full of puzzles. We also run we also run Solve This Murder, which is a
also very
separate
fun
podcast in which Danny creates murder mysteries, which I try and solve as a detective, which has been
And
very
I think you
enjoyable
do
as well.
a
That's
great
amazing.
job.
I do a great job.
I
They're
think
very,
you do
very
a great
difficult.
job. You do better than I would at solving those murders. So don't let
Oh,
the
they're hard.
haters get you down. I'm assuming there's haters. Is that wrong?
Oh, there's so many haters.
There's no haters. There's not a hater.
But we're gonna we picked out a very special book that you suggested for you this week that we think will be perfect. But before we announce that, we're gonna do a little segment to get to know our guests just a little bit more.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We got guests, and that's best. Let's do some questions. What's your deal? You just gotta know. What's your deal? Why are you on the show? What's your deal? What's your deal?
Hey, welcome to What's Your Deal, where we ask our guests, "What's your deal?" But in like the nice way. We've heard
You're
all
gonna have to
about
do
your-
all the editing around it now to move all the stuff you were just saying.
Yeah.
Well, mostly this is where we focus on getting your specific history and experience with these wonderful books that we have. We would specifically like to ask both of you, what is your history or memories of Choose Your Own Adventure books or interactive fiction books in general?
You can go first. I feel
Okay.
like mine's longer.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. I feel like Choose Your Own Adventure books. I don't know if I did many Choose Co. branded Choose Your Own Adventure books growing up. Obviously, one of the big ones, and I think maybe it was more prevalent in Australia, is all of the like Give Yourself Goosebumps, R.L. Stein Choose Your Own Adventures.
Okay. I really wanted you to say something just like outrageously Australian. I was really hoping you were going to say something that was like so deeply specific to Australia.
No, I'm
I
so
think it's
sorry.
more popular in Australia.
But no, so they were great. I remember having a lot of those as a kid. And also the fighting fantasy Steve Jackson,
yeah.
Ian Livingstone
Okay.
games. I had heaps of those. Well, actually, you know what? I didn't have heaps of those. I just played through the ones that I had heaps of times.
There it is.
You
yeah.
could do that with those. Those are next level. Those are super deep. Those are the ones with like you have stats and stuff. And
You have
everything?
stats
Oh, yeah.
and you have
Yeah.
to fight monster. And because, of course, as a kid, you're like, I'm not engaging with that like element really. Like if you lose a fight and they're like, oh, now it's game over. You're like, nah, I just won
No,
that fight.
no, it's not.
Get out of here, book. What are you talking about? Of course I won that.
Just a serious shout out to everybody who grew up losing those fights, sighing, putting the book down, picking it up the next day, and beginning again.
Starting again.
Good for you. You one person. Congratulations. You're the right person.
And then the weird one that was kind of existed on my periphery, and I have no idea what this was. It was a book that a friend of mine had, which was like the most intense version of a interactive novel I've ever seen in my life. It was gigantic. It was
Whoa.
designed for like late teenage readership. And it was like an entire fantasy landscape. There were moments where you would get to, like, you'd be traveling west by going to the page that is to the west of your current page over and over again.
That's
It's a big
pretty
book.
good.
Until eventually it was like, oh, you've reached the end of what this book can cover. Buy another one to experience the story that
Right.
exists out west of this land in the desert. It was wild. It was like, I have no idea what this was. I do not know
Are
the
you
name. I do not know who made it. But it was just a book. It was like, it was wild. It was the most intense version of a fantasy interactive fiction book I've ever seen. And I have
It
no
sounds
idea
like
what
a
it is.
dream. Are you sure it wasn't a dream?
It could have been a dream. It was wild. If anyone knows at all what I'm talking about,
Please.
please tweet at me. At
Let us know what this
Podcast.
Jumanji of a Choose Your Own
It was a
Adventure book
Jumanji
was.
of a book. It was insane.
That sounds
Do not read
phenomenal.
it. You will be trapped in it, but do let us know what
Yeah,
it
you
is.
can't.
It's insane.
That's why.
Okay, you haven't told me this story, so now I feel bad for going second.
Well, I'm so sorry. Please go second with your subpar experiences.
So yeah, my first interactive
we'll
ones were all Oven Up Goosebumps Goosebumps, Give Yourself Goosebumps ones. Starting,
Nice.
I think the only reason I got into it was because the first one I read was Trapped in Batwing Hall, where you turn into a bat. And
Ooh.
I had a big thing where anything that involved humans turning into animals was my 8-year-old zone. I was into that.
Did you like Animorphs?
Somehow I didn't read that until I was 16.
It was
I
probably
don't
the
know
illustrations
how.
on the cover.
You know what?
would
There's
get
every
past
chance
the
that's
cover.
true. I didn't like ugly covers.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But I also have older brothers who grew up in the 80s. And so when I reached maybe 10, 11 years old, I inherited some of their book collection. And that included some Choose Your Own, some fighting fantasies. And
Nice.
yeah, I just went full on into those, except one of them, which has a hot air balloon on the cover. Because I went, well, this isn't fantasy enough for me.
By balloon to the Sahara, I think is what
Yeah.
it's called.
It may be.
Ooh.
It's like number
something
two or
something that
something.
trips me out about that book. I saw it in a store randomly, and I flipped through to a random page, and it was a page where the balloon crashes, and you swim to an island and go in a cave, and the cave takes you back in time.
No.
No, I
I
refuse.
was like,
Not
that's not
acceptable.
acceptable.
You've
I
reached
got
it.
really mad about that. I almost
And
threw
then
it
there was
across the
there was a
store.
little sentence that said, "Oh, this book does not cover that. You have to buy the other book, Cave of Time, and add it on as an expansion."
We've also got this one right next to us, another fighting fantasy that has a picture of an alien in a space car on the front of it.
Whoa.
I
What
don't
does
know
that
anything that goes on in that one either.
I never did like a sci-fi one of those.
Is that? Are those just rectangles or is that letters? Skylord. That's what that says.
Skylord. All right, so let's start the
Skylord
read.
would be pretty
Here we
good.
go.
Here we go.
Now I just want to read Skylord. It looks so much cooler than Arbuck.
Let's roll our stats.
Well, maybe we should.
Ooh, after a short rest, gather equipment, bought a spaceship. It's called the Star Spray.
Star Spray.
no.
Mm.
Code
Not great.
11, drop everything.
A code 11.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that.
Tapes of surf. Wait a minute. Okay.
Right. Should we,
Awesome.
now that we've learned a little bit more about our guests and their experience level, are we ready to tell everybody what book we're doing?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
ready. I'm ready. You're ready, I think. Yeah, let's
made-
do it.
You
I
made
made a special
for that.
jangle to announce to the world.
Okay, here come the jangle.
Okay.
When you're fighting in outer space, well, that's a battle up high. When you duke it out under the waves, well, that's a trouble beneath the tides. When you're beefing in a cave, that's a grind inside of mine. But there's only one thing to call it when you're in Australia. Struggle, down, struggle, down, struggle, down, struggle, down, struggle, yeah, there's nothing struggle, down, struggle, down, struggle, down, struggle, down, struggle. There's a problem at your high school, it's called hassle at your alma mater. When fish are clashing in the tide pool, it's called strife in gentle water. When gnomes get nasty on a toadstool, it's a sort of fun. But I know you know what to call it when you're in Australia. Struggle, down, struggle, down, struggle, down, struggle, struggle, down, that's right. They called it struggle down under.
I feel really informed now.
It's called Struggle Down Under.
There's
I feel
something
like
else about
I started out with Bee Gees vibes, and I went, "Yeah, this is fair." And
It's
then
an
by the end,
Australian band.
it was B-52s a bit more. It was fantastic.
BG52s.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, Struggle Down Under. I feel like the song said it all. You guys actually mentioned this one to us last time we were chatting, and
Only after we heard it in one of yours as one of your
Oh.
choose your own adventure or dot dot dots.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
it all comes full circle.
I totally remember saying it before.
So it's
in my
not
life.
our fault.
Yeah, you can't
And
blame us.
originally this book was called Terror in Australia, but they very wisely changed it to Struggle
Down.
Down Under, which
Just
As
an
a-
unfortunate name.
they don't usually go backwards with these things. But I mean, maybe they took the terrorists out. Wouldn't that be nice
Oh,
if they just removed it?
because yeah, in
They
the
did not. I'm
original,
sure
like
they
In
did
the
not.
blurb.
I remember we read the blurb and it was like Libyan terrorists have shot Doc Brown and you
Yes.
have to save him from it, something along those lines.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah. Yeah, this is a slightly it is a what do you call it in books? A remake? A reboot.
Print.
Reprint.
Reprint.
Reprint. There it
A
is.
reissue.
Because I used to put books on paper, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's right.
so this isn't the original necessarily that we have a copy of.
No, and the original
think it
was
is
number
still.
81. This one is number 21, so it must be from reprint. Plus, the book we're looking at on the cover says collectible cards inside.
What?
I
no,
know.
don't
Can
get too
I
excited.
have
We don't,
them?
we
Infinite
don't have
Realms
the
still,
cards.
we don't have
They
the
give
cards.
you-
I'm sorry,
Oh.
There's no digital cards.
No
but at
digital
some
cards.
point you are able to collect cards. That's
Oh,
in their
cool.
Infinite Realms cards. I don't know what that means. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
That's exciting.
We'll
What if
do a
it's what if
whole
there's like an
segment
actual
on that.
collectible card game?
That
A
would be
choose your own
amazing.
adventure game. Where they're like, I play the Cave of Time so I can go anywhere.
Everybody's like, no.
And I use the Cave of Time to draw 3 extra cards and play them in
Yeah.
any time period. And they're like, okay, well, I counter that with a
Deadwood
hot air
City.
balloon, and I find a different Cave of Time, and I go back, and it's a whole big thing.
I think you got to get deep. I think you got to pull the major characters from all the books.
Yeah.
Definitely any crossover characters. You got to just
yeah.
make a whole deck. It's got to be a deck building game, I think.
Yeah, and
Yes,
the
I love
audience
it.
for this is 3 people, and they are salivating right now.
Are
Patreon
you and,
reward.
and we hope that you will help inform us a little bit about anything in here that we might not know about Australia.
I'm really
And
hoping it's
this-
the easy ones. I want them to go through like a list of Australian foods. I'm really looking forward to that.
I will say that the person who wrote this definitely in 1987, 1988 learned a lot of Australian slang
Oh, boy, this is
yes.
going to be good.
because it is
Maybe
not
made
light
up
on
a
the,
lot of Australian
on the-
slang. We don't know.
We'll find out.
That's often the best way of going about it, is the
So-
making it up.
Now,
I mean,
usually
I watched
on-
the
Hmm?
Crocodile Dundee movies a bunch when I was a kid, so I'm pretty
too.
confident this slang is directly from those movies.
Oh,
That
perfect.
makes
yeah,
sense.
this is probably where most of the research for this book came from.
That's right.
Usually when we do these books, Matt and I duke it out to see who gets the best read. So this week, we're going to roll something. We're going to let the fates decide. One of you will be teaming up with one of us.
Whoa!
And the stakes are high because whichever team wins the read, those points go to the appropriate brother, which can make a
Ooh.
big difference at the end of this book. So not this book, but the
All
other
right.
book we're reading.
Yes.
Yep.
So
So
I
I
have
see-
I have here in my hand, I have
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
8-sided die.
Mm.
Why?
Yeah.
The
'Cause
best
why
one
not?
for a 50-50 choice.
the
Okay, right.
the die that is 2 pyramids butt to butt.
Okay, so odd number.
So
Which
Odd
which
number
Yule is
is-
the more odd Yule?
Odd
I'm
number
born
is
on an
Matt.
odd number day, and you're born on an even number day.
yeah, that was how
Oh,
we always
perfect.
decided whose turn it was to choose which chores to do that day.
That's
Ah,
right.
Odd
I love
days
it.
were Matt's choice. Even days.
I
were
feel
my
like we
choice.
don't need the die because you're born on an odd number day and I'm born on an even number day. We should just cross it like that.
Oh, but I have a die in my. Oh,
Yeah.
Does
that
he
does
did.
Let's
seem
roll.
pretty
Let's
appropriate,
roll
though.
to see if that's a good idea. That we don't need the die.
Okay.
Even number
Okay.
is
On
yes,
a-
we should do that, and odd is no, we don't do that.
on a
Good boy.
1 to 4,
Yeah. Okay.
that's a good idea, and we'll just
Okay.
do
Oh
it
my
that
God.
way. And on a 5 to 8, it's not a good idea, and I'll roll the dice.
What are we
All right.
Yeah,
doing?
yeah, I like it. I like that.
Oh, it's a 3. It's a good idea.
Okay, so we're doing that.
Which means I'm on the
So-
odd numbered team.
So you're
All right,
with
I'm
so
on
you're
Matt.
team
with me.
odds. Yeah.
Danny.
This is Bill and Matt.
Great to
versus
work
Matt
with you,
again.
Chris.
We're gonna destroy this book.
Absolutely.
We're gonna humiliate my brother, and I need your help in that.
Come on.
What? That's the sport. People listen to this book for this competition.
For the clash.
They listen to this
That's
podcast.
true.
Are you guys ready to dive in?
I'm super ready.
Matt, will you read us the first sentence
Yeah, I would love to.
of Struggle Down Under?
You open your eyes and stretch lazily, expecting to hear the muffled sounds below of your parents making your favorite brekkie of eggs and
Brekkie.
sausage.
Brekkie, Australian approved.
That's real.
That's that's
Australian
for real?
approved.
Okay,
All
cool.
right.
What about
so,
eggs
so
and
far,
sausage?
so good.
guys eat eggs
Very
and
real
sausage?
eggs and sausage breakfast. That's
yeah,
fair.
that's very British.
Okay,
And in the
good.
80s, Australia was even more British.
That's such a good breakfast. I support
That's
eggs
a
and
solid
sausage
breakfast.
Wrap it up in a tortilla, and now we're talking.
Get
Now
out
we're
of
off.
here.
I just got kicked out of
tortillas.
Australia.
That's confused me now.
Continue.
Solid first sentence. This
Okay,
was
so
much less terrifying than some of the others.
True.
yeah,
a very pleasant
that's a
beginning.
nice way to start a story.
But
So it does look like the character, the main character in this book, it does appear to be Australian. But we are
okay.
not going to do a voice for that.
Yeah, you are.
because-
Matt and I did a quick test run of our
We give it a-
Australian accents earlier, and it's not anything anybody needs to hear.
We were doing Oliver the Musical pretty quick. We're just going to
Yep,
pass on
we went straight to just cockney
That
street
happens.
urchins.
Yeah.
So we're not touching that. But it turns out your parents aren't even they're not even home. You forgot.
That's right.
They're on a trip in the United States. For the first time in your life, you're on your own, it says.
3 weeks. You got 3 weeks. You tell your cat, Ned, hey, Ned, you're like, hey, guess what? We're going to live it up for 3 weeks, buddy. And your cat's like, I don't care about
Cat
that.
named after famous bushranger Ned Kelly.
That
presumably.
seems likely.
Probably.
Wait, sorry. The first time you've ever been on your own, and it's for 3
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot damn, that's,
That's
amazing.
some parenting.
That's-
I think your parents are just like, I'm done
Wait.
with this kid.
We're going mad with power.
Yeah.
As a parent, I've been hearing a lot about this. It's called roller coaster parenting, where you just you just ping pong from extreme to extreme. and it really just prepares them for just about anything that life can throw at them. Their lifespan will be shorter, but they will be more prepared.
Hard to
So
argue.
anyway, so yeah, you are hanging out with your cat Ned.
You put a kettle on for tea and drink some orange juice while you wait for the tea to be ready? How does that sound?
Is that a thing?
Orange juice, maybe not the best pre-tea drink, but overall,
I can't imagine.
pretty appropriate.
Those are both fair things. Together, it's kind of strange.
I am on my
It's
second cup
strange.
of tea for the day.
And yesterday
And
I
and
did
I've only
just
been up for a few
finish a
hours.
3-liter bottle of orange juice.
Okay, so far all checks out.
Okay,
Hey, all
wow.
right, good stuff.
Okay. Your buddy Waldo calls you and tells you.
Wait, what's my buddy's name?
Waldo.
Waldo.
That's ridiculous.
We have Where's Wally here in
Yeah, we
Australia.
don't even call Where's Waldo Where's
Right.
Waldo.
What?
It's Where's Wally. Get out of here.
So why on earth would there be a Waldo? That's insane.
Waldo must be American.
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't call.
Yeah,
He
he's our
delivers your
American friend.
newspaper.
Oh,
I'm
He's
sorry.
also your neighbor. He's also your friend, and he delivers your newspaper, which I think
Mm-hmm.
means he just gets up, doesn't have anything to do, wanders over to your yard, picks up the paper,
Off to
walks
the
up to the
yard.
door, hangs out for about 5-6 minutes until he's like, I could probably knock now.
well, I mean, this is my first time on my own. Who knows how few life skills I have?
It's true, true.
Definitely not very many. But he's giving you a heads up that your uncle is in the paper. Your uncle Gilroy, who they call in the newspaper, they call. No, I'm sorry. Just this book calls Gilroy a 27-year-old renegade archaeologist.
Ooh, okay. All right, I'm happy with this.
Which, if I had read this book when I was a child, I think the trajectory of my life would have been entirely different.
I could be a renegade archaeologist.
You'd be
Yeah.
25, like, how am I going to be a renegade archaeologist, world renowned by the time I'm 27? That book was ridiculous. I'm going to do it, but I don't know how.
Setting unreal expectations.
He apparently discovered an amulet that he claims is proof of Satyrion, a highly developed ancient civilization that he believes the capital is in the middle of the Gibson Desert. Is this a thing in Australia? You guys talk
Okay.
about Satyrion?
No, we do not.
This may be the Debbie Gibson Desert.
No, the Gibson Desert's real.
Oh, that's
that
a real
one's
thing.
that one's a real.
Gibson's real.
Okay, good.
Satyrion's not so much.
No.
At least
Well,
apparently.
that's what some people say, but renegade archaeology has something else to say about whether or not
That's
Satyrion
true.
is
Who
real.
am I to argue
With a renegade archaeologist.
with dear Gilroy?
Good old Gilroy.
But then, before you can even read the whole article, your phone rings, and guess who it is?
It's Gilroy.
It's Gilroy.
And he
It
says,
is. It is
he
Gilroy.
says,
Good guess.
I need your help. The amulet has led us to, it's given me a map to a treasure, and I need you to join me. Get on the next flight to the Gibson Desert.
Yep,
That
you got it
is
right.
So accurate.
Ha! Yes.
You did get it right. I have a couple things to ask about real quick.
Yeah.
You're excited to talk to him because you're pretty close with him, actually. And you're like, congratulations on making the front page. And then he says, thanks, Cobber.
Yeah, okay, that's a wild thing to just randomly say to your nephew. But yeah, that is just I've looked at a dictionary of Australian slang, and
Yeah.
cobber is a thing that
It's-
people say.
Yeah, it's real, but a 27-year-old is not saying it.
It is a 27-year-old in the 80s. No, no. I think you're not
What
allowed to
about-
say cobber until you're a 60-year-old man.
What if you're a 27-year-old calling your nephew and you want to like make him feel a little dumb? You want to like kind of insult him a little bit. You roll in your
Oh.
eyes when you say cobber.
No, cobber is not. I don't think you can
Cobber
say
is
cobber
for old
ironically.
men by
it's
old
just
men.
nothing.
That's awesome. Okay.
I love it.
It doesn't mean anything, does it?
No, but it's also the equivalent of like if you wrote a book set in London and randomly like you called your nephew and were like, "Well, governor, how?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are we going to do today, governor?" Be like,
Got
okay,
it.
like this is a bit
It's
weird.
not necessarily like informal. It's just a placeholder. Okay.
I think it's something Australian people only say if they want to pretend to be more Australian.
If you really want to blow some American minds.
So he does need your help. You're like, what's wrong? He's like, nothing's wrong. ... Yet. He wants to meet in person. He wants you to come to Alice Springs. Because that's where his expedition is going to be leaving from. You're pumped because you've always wanted to go on an expedition with him, but your parents have never ever left you alone before. And your dad always says Gilroy's got kangaroos in the top of his paddock. Can I get a ruling?
Kangaroo loose in the top paddock is a phrase.
I have never heard this in my life. Oh my god.
I've heard the phrase kangaroo loose in the top paddock.
I understand perfectly what it means, though. I don't have to have heard it before.
I mean, it's got to be bad news.
He's got a few roos loose in his top paddock. You've never heard this?
not
I've
a
heard this.
thing.
This is a phrase.
That's
It's
amazing.
not a good phrase, but
I'm
it's a phrase.
learning.
and But this time your parents aren't here, and it says you smile at Ned the cat. And I just wanted to point that out because Ned the cat has been titled officially Ned the cat, and it makes me happy.
Okay.
If he doesn't come back to be a secret Satyrian, then I'll be sad.
I think if one of these teams gets an ending involving Ned the cat, then they're the automatic winner. Sure.
That reminds me.
Oh yeah, Matt.
Predictions?
We skipped a thing, didn't we? Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Nailed it, Annie.
Now that we've got a bit of a taste, it's time.
Predictions. Knowing. Our thoughts. For the future of our readings. Our knows. The stories remain untold. We predict them.
Just a brick wall. So yeah, y'all know how it works. Make some predictions. We usually do this at the beginning of a new book, and we get extra points when we tally up all the points at the end of the book for our predictions. But how's that going to work today, Matt?
I propose, and let's see if everybody agrees. I propose one prediction from each Bill and Danny for this one read. And should that prediction come true in this one read, I mean, that'd be intense.
impressive.
Should it come true, whoever, if that person should win the read, double points for that win, which will apply to the book we're currently reading now, which I've forgotten. I don't even remember what it is. House
Because
of
it's
Danger.
nowhere near as fun as this book already.
No, this book is amazing. You have a cat.
Can I
No,
can
no.
I change it to 2 predictions each, just for
Sure.
extra fun?
Yes.
Okay.
I like extra fun.
That means I got to think of a second one, but okay.
Yeah. Well, that's who's ready to say one of your predictions?
You go first, so I have
Okay.
more thinking time.
The Ghost of Captain Cook.
Ooh, yeah.
That's enough.
Stop there. Stop there.
That's it.
That is specific enough and feels very likely, but
Yeah.
that can get you sometimes.
I'm also expecting partial credit if we find like an old journal of Captain Cook's. Because that's like a
If the
ghost
journal's haunted.
of language.
We'll see.
There's
If
got to
it's
be something
spooky.
supernatural, or at least
Yeah.
spooky.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. Yeah. If you think
Cool.
the book is a ghost for a second,
Which is like,
This is interesting. I wasn't thinking so much ghosts. What I was thinking was that this ancient civilization would be one of those where it's actually, it turned out they were advanced, so much more advanced than we knew. Look at this futuristic technology the ancients had.
oh, that's a good
I
one.
mean, that's a gimme. That was already set up on the first page that it was an ancient advanced civilization.
can we add a layer of
I mean, like, I reckon,
specificity to
okay,
that?
let's be more specific. I reckon they've got rocket ships.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I would say any sort of flying vehicle would be a win. on
Rocket
that.
ships is fine.
Yeah.
It's excellent.
That's
I
a
mean,
good
if they
one.
don't
That's a
use
really good
actual
one.
rockets, we're not going to get crazy.
All right. My second prediction,
Yeah.
Uluru turns out to be something other than a
Ooh.
big rock in the desert. It's like a secret
Ooh.
base or some kind of large mythical animal that's sleeping.
good.
That might
That's
actually
really
be a dream. I have no idea.
Yours are so much more impressive
I'm
than
going
mine.
for large scale predictions.
My other one is you are going to wake up surrounded by dingoes.
Oh, we're gonna win this book. That is a home run
Fine,
prediction.
fine. My next prediction is it'll be set in Australia. I think you're going to travel to Alice Springs and meet your uncle.
We'll see.
I think they will also, if that happens, they will also definitely explain in great detail what a dingo is.
Fair.
Because it's so very exotic and exciting.
That's true.
Awesome.
When
Those
was this
are-
book written? Are we expecting a
Oh, yeah,
really
let's find out.
A tasteless-
insensitive,
1988 it came out.
insensitive dingo ate my baby joke?
Yes.
It's very
definitely.
around that time.
Ooh, that's bad.
Oh boy. Did they ever do a Dingo Ate My Baby Ruth commercial? Let's move on.
Hey.
It just feels like the timing. Anyways,
I
what
would
page
assume
are we
you
in?
can't give a dingo chocolate.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Presumably?
That's a good call.
I would.
Chocolate isn't good for dingoes, but you can have the rest of my milk. That was an ad campaign for Oreos.
I
Was it really?
cannot believe that
No,
that
it
is
wasn't. It was a
true.
dog.
Almost.
Oh man, you guys could say anything.
So close. That's the
That's cute.
terrifying power.
You know, in Australia, Oreos have a biscuit with cream on either side.
I actually would
believe you.
much prefer that. That just sounds amazing. Writing that down. I'm gonna
Okay,
sell that
so anyway, so now we have our predictions. We're ready.
Yeah.
Gilroy gives you the address of his hotel because he's the cool uncle and he knows that's all you need.
Mhm.
And you're packing up the next
1988.
day. Huh?
1988. You're going to give the address to a guy driving by, and he'll take you there. It's
Oh
fine.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
It was
You're
a safe time.
Yeah.
sure. You're packing with next day. You're packing up with Waldo and Ned, the cat. It's not pumped that you're leaving, but Waldo's going to take care of him, so it's all good.
Yeah, but
And-
Waldo's all nervous about it and weird because he's
He's
that guy.
really nervous about it.
You're like, just take care of my cat. My parents won't know.
He can sense Ned's power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then Waldo drops the first big question. He says, "How are you traveling to Alice Springs?" He wants to
Whoa.
know. And you say you haven't made up your mind. The train is cheaper, but if I go that way, I won't get there till tomorrow morning. If I take a plane, I won't have any money left over, but I'll be in Alice by dinner. I'll be in Alice by dinner? Okay, that's what it says.
Yeah,
So
Alice Springs.
that's an
Believable.
actual sentence, and that's not terrific.
No, it's pretty reasonable. People go to Alice all the time.
I
Yeah.
would
Call it Alice?
not.
Okay.
I would not bat an
People-
eyelid at that.
People definitely call it Alice.
People
You just
drop
go to
the
Alice.
springs.
Okay, okay, good.
cool.
Nice.
Well, then that's some
Awesome.
cred for the author then.
I
'cause
will
that
say,
feels like a hard thing to
if
look
there's
up.
any point where a word or a place name has been shortened,
Yeah.
it will
Yeah.
always be correct.
That's accurate.
Oh, okay. Rock and roll. So this is the big choice. You actually get to choose if you take a train or a plane, which is, I don't know, a really surprising choice to me because
It's
in
fun.
these books you don't usually get to do like go left or
This
go
is
right.
very
Take train.
practical.
Yeah.
And the taxi is outside honking its horn. You got to make
Yeah.
a decision quick.
Oh,
I
this-
really love this choice.
There's a
It's
lot
a
of
really
pressure.
good
I
choice.
wish we knew where we were traveling from. That would
Yeah.
help.
If we've come from
Hmm.
Adelaide, we could do the Garn. Up
Let me
to,
see if we skipped it. Let me check real quick.
I'm
Did we just
pretty
breeze past? I don't think it specifies.
I'm going to say that we're in Adelaide and we're taking the Garn up to Alice. Taking the Garn to Alice, which is the Australian way of saying taking the Afghan Express to Alice Springs.
Whoa.
That's pretty cool.
Which
I
is a
don't know if
train.
it makes
A
a
train?
difference. The article about your uncle is in the Melbourne Age.
Going
Oh.
from Melbourne.
Oh, it's in the
okay.
Age. That's a real it's a real paper.
Hey,
Really?
true.
Wow. Okay.
Love
Look at
this.
this, it's very authentic. Yeah, well,
Okay, going from Melbourne. What do you reckon? And
hey,
how,
we're
how
not, it's
quickly,
a different
how
thing. I know
quickly
what
are we
I'm
fighting?
going to do.
Yeah, what?
All right, we're gonna go
What
first.
should we do,
team,
Danny?
team odds are gonna go first.
Team odds going first.
Okay.
Okay. He's
Let's
still
take
on
the
the
train.
train. All right.
Let's relax, you know. Let's
yeah.
take a. We're going to do a drive down the Great Ocean Road to Adelaide, then we're going to
Ooh.
take the Garn up to Alice. It's going to be good.
Danny,
What do you want to do?
what do you think?
Oh, this is tricky. Trains are pretty tempting, but
Do you like trains better or planes better when you're on an adventure?
I gotta say, trains are pretty spectacular. That said, if the only downside of the plane is we'll have no money by the end of it, I think that's fine. I don't think anything in Alice Springs costs money.
Wow,
Man, we got to go to Australia.
that's an official
Like-
slam on Al. Wait, is that a slam on Alice?
It's
Or is it-
totally
No.
not. It is
okay.
you are in
That's
the
a
center of
compliment.
everything where what people do is they walk, they go camping, they look at stuff.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's a delight.
Terrible.
And we're going to
It's
meet
not,
our
it's
uncle.
not like Sydney. Yeah,
Uncle-
exactly.
Uncle
He's
Gilroy's gonna take
renegade
care of us.
archaeologist to the richest profession in the world, right?
Well, they're the richest archaeologists for sure.
Yeah, because they just keep everything they find.
Yeah, they'll hit up a bank. It's not a big deal.
They're renegades. Awesome. Okay, so we truly are parting ways here.
Okay.
That's fun.
Get out of here, you. We're going on the train.
Enjoy your train.
Have fun riding on a vehicle that goes on the ground. Lame.
We're
Hey,
gonna
this is
have
nice.
the ancient treasures before you even get there.
Way before you
Much
even
Yeah,
That's
right.
probably
see
true. Should we go that way first since it's faster? Should we do you guys?
Yeah, you can do your read while we're still making our way to our read.
We're
That actually
enjoying the
makes sense
train.
because ours would happen first. Okay, so that takes us to page 9 then. Okay, so we give Ned a goodbye pet. Ned is
Oh,
a
I
cat,
thought we were
not your
talking about
friend.
Waldo for a
Me
second.
too.
I was like, this is so messed up.
We don't
Oh.
pet animals in Australia.
Oh, that's true.
That's
Well,
not a
Is that
verb.
no, and
It's just not a
even
verb
like
here.
we give
Oh,
them a
what do you do?
goodbye pet, that wouldn't
That would
happen.
be wild. If someone said, I pet my cat goodbye, I'd be like, what are you
Oh,
talking about?
really? What do
Yep.
you
Yes.
say? You say, I touch my cat?
It's pat.
You just
Every
pet them.
time it's pat.
oh,
But you don't pet them.
Oh.
You don't pet animals.
You definitely don't touch your animals.
You just never touch them.
You just don't touch animals. They're animals.
A pet doesn't count as a touch.
This is just I'm just going to keep pointing out little things. Also,
that's
I
right.
love
It's
it.
amazing.
That's why
are you
we're
on
doing
an
this.
aeroplane or an airplane?
That's a very good point.
Wait, what do you guys say?
We don't call them airplanes. We call
The
them aeroplanes.
aeroplanes.
That sounds so much cooler. So is it AERO?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's so much more cool.
Because that's
amazingly
I love
cool.
that was the first problem that we pointed out, because all of the ones that are actively trying to be Australian have been really solid.
And then they just,
Yeah.
I mean, and really, it's written for American children, so you can narrate in
yeah.
America,
Mm.
in America,
Do you-
but that's fine.
Yeah,
Take the-
until that child goes and humiliates themselves in Australia.
Oh my gosh.
Talking about petting a
I'm
cat.
gonna miss my airplane. Is it? Do you get your aeroplane at the aeroport?
Oh,
No.
It's an airport.
Ah,
Intriguing.
Airport for airplanes.
that's too bad.
Mm,
Aeroport would be
interesting.
cool.
We should have been more prepared with coming up with lies.
Yeah, you guys really could say absolutely anything right now. So Waldo and you head to the cab. We've got our Tucker bag for some food.
Wild. That's the most nonsense thing I've ever
It's
heard.
real, but, 150
says
years
it.
old.
Okay, gotcha.
Tucker bag. Get out of here. Although,
I did say I was excited to find out about food.
fun fact, school canteen, not called a canteen, called a tuck shop.
Nah,
Oh,
depends
it's a
where
tuck
you
shop.
are.
Get out of here. It's
That's
a tuck shop.
your wild private school
It's a
ways or
tuck
something.
shop. Get outta
For
here.
me, it's a canteen.
Go on.
Wait, is a Tucker bag specifically a food bag?
Yes.
Yeah, if
Oh.
you've got a tucker bag, which is a phrase that no one ever says
Outside of the song Waltzing Matilda.
yeah, outside of Waltzing Matilda. But yeah, it would be for food. Tucker.
We
And
don't
now
have
is
a
a-
word for that, do we?
Is a
Lunchbox?
Tucker
I mean,
bag a specific
I don't
kind
know.
of bag?
No,
or
I
it's
have
just
no
any
idea
bag
what
with
it's
food in
actually
it?
supposed to be.
Being like, I've got a tucker bag. If someone said to me, I have a tucker bag, I would say, what does it look
What
like?
physical
What are
object is
you?
this? It's
Would
a
you know what
concept.
was in it? Would you assume that food was in it?
Oh, it's
Yes,
absolutely
because-
food.
Oh, okay.
Tucker bag, no one says. Tucker, people say. If people say, like, I'm going to have some tucker, you're like, great.
Oh,
Like, that's cool.
interesting.
I know that you are eating food. Yeah, that's cool. I
Yeah, but
wouldn't
like,
bat
be
an
more
eyelid at someone
specific. What are you
saying
eating?
tucker.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I would like some Tucker.
Yeah, I'll take anything.
Unless, of course, it then goes to bush tucker, which very specifically is native ingredients that were eaten by Aboriginal people traditionally. So it tends to be
wow.
like insects, native
Huh.
insects, that sort of thing, is referred to as
Nice.
bush tucker.
So everybody's got their own Tucker.
Works for me.
But yeah,
Oh.
tucker, don't know where it came from. It's food.
Not a clue.
Okay, so
It's going to be a 4-hour episode.
Yeah,
you
it's fine.
you say to Waldo, the sooner
We're not
I'm
doing
in
this for
Alice-
anybody but us. It's okay.
You say that you just,
It's not even going on. It's not even going up on the feed.
and we got one like every other sentence here. So the next sentence says, Waldo says, "Have a rip snorter out there." That's right? A rip snorter.
That is kind of right.
It's real enough,
That's real enough.
but I wouldn't react like
It's
this
hilarious.
to someone saying it to me.
But I'd believe it.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
But he is worried about you.
Yeah.
You promise that you'll be careful. You tell him you couldn't do it without him.
And you thank him heaps.
Oh.
Now we're going to page 32.
Woo.
We get to the Melbourne airport. We got 4 hours till the next flight, but
Oh.
it's booked, which is a bummer. No, like it's booked solid. It's all booked. It's booked solid. It's sold out.
You idiots should have taken the train.
So you have to fly standby. But we can fly standby. We can do this. They're just adding a little tension. We're still going to get on the plane.
Yeah, this is tension. It evaporates in a sentence.
I feel like I'm losing the amazing race right now.
No. No way does that train actually make it all the way to Alice.
That's true. Trains get delayed too.
This person has your back anyway, because they say go ask the people with the mail plane. They might have room.
What? That's what they say?
Yeah, go see if there's space on the mail plane.
Oh, that's lovely.
Makes sense to me.
It makes a lot of stops. You won't get there much before the regularly scheduled flight,
Okay.
and you won't be all that comfortable, but at least you'll make it tonight. Shall I enter your name on the passenger list?
These choices are all the fun of planning a vacation and timing
Yeah, you
out.
get to choose. Do you take the mail plane or do you take your chances and fly
Are
standby?
you gonna wait standby or get on this mail plane that makes a lot of
Now,
stops?
Danny.
It could take a while.
I will prepare you. A mail plane is, I'm sure, it's just like a little twin prop
Ugh.
Rex kind of plane.
Oh,
going
you're
out.
probably right. Sorry. I hate tiny airplanes. I hate
Oh,
them so
okay.
much.
Well, let's you know what?
Ugh.
Let's stay away from them. We don't need that.
It's a very nice
Yeah.
illustration of the lady at her keyboard with her mouse.
Yeah, most of the illustrations. Sorry, we haven't shown those to you yet, but most of them are just portraits
Yeah,
of the
I love
people
it.
in the scene. Like
Really
the
sweet.
there's a portrait
Did
of
we
a taxi cab.
Accidentally pick the most slice of life, choose your own adventure?
Well, this whole-
If these choices are like this, all of the choices are like this.
I think we may need to temper our predictions a little bit. Instead
Yeah.
of surrounded
Like-
by dingoes, surrounded by smoking commuters.
Yeah.
this is not an author we've read before. Her name is what is her name?
Shannon Gilligan. Shannon Gilligan.
Shannon Gilligan. So we don't know exactly what her jam is. I will say that like we're not reading out the text because we're legally obligated to not do that. But it was actually pretty fun to read.
We're cordially invited to not do that.
Yeah. We received a friendly invitation to not read the text out loud. But anyways, so we're going to take. What did we decide?
Yeah, take our chances waiting.
Cut to Matt and Bill sitting on the train. got a soft drink, a little bit of food.
Yeah, would you like some tea? I'm gonna get another cup of tea.
Cup of tea, nice. Love it.
Reading the Melbourne Age.
Reading the Age.
So guess what? Luck is with us. One of the passengers on the flight has to cancel, giving us a place just before the plane takes off. What? We're in the air. No problem. It's all good.
Nice. It's the end. We make it.
Yeah. And and that's what it says here. We find Gilroy and Satyrion, and we get the sword of power, whatever that is. So that's
wow.
No, it doesn't say that. We are seated next to a friendly, talkative young man, though, which is my nightmare, but I guess it's okay for this character. He asks about where you're going.
He's going home.
On the plane.
I guess everybody knows where you're going. He's headed home, and he asks about your journey. And you think to yourself, Gilroy didn't say anything about keeping it secret, so you go ahead and tell him you're going to see your uncle Gilroy Adams. Do a little name dropping. The archaeologist? The young man says.
Oh my, okay.
He's a fan. He finds his work very interesting. His research into Satyrion is really brilliant. I don't care what anyone says, is what he says.
What do people say?
Well,
Nothing
he's a
good, I
renegade
guess.
archaeologist, right?
Yeah, good point. Is a loose cannon, and you really don't want loose cannons in your archaeology.
I hope
I'm
that
just
doesn't mean
waiting.
he's just racist, like horrible.
Oh no!
He probably is.
Be.
I'm just waiting for your uncle recently uncovered an everlasting gobstopper. You must get it for me. I'll be waiting outside the hotel. Bring it to me.
Where's the Slogworth? You glow with pride at this compliment about your uncle, and you're considering. You say to the boy, maybe Gilroy has room for another person. Would you like to come on the dig?
And
The
this
young
is the
man-
most intriguing thing I've ever read.
Here, I'll just read it. The young man smiles almost sadly and says, "That's very kind, but I'm afraid I have previous obligations. Maybe another time."
And then he opens a book and he starts reading it and he stops talking to you and you descend into Alice Springs.
I love
He
him.
shakes your hand warmly and heads out. And that's the last of that guy for now, I hope.
That's
And then a
very
bus goes
strange.
past, and then he disappears.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It does. Okay, it says the young man shakes your hand warmly and disappears down the aisle. So yes, he does. You are reading the tone correctly.
Oh, I had a great flight. I was talking to that young man over there.
Oh.
What young man?
All right, I'm on your Captain Cook ghost theory now.
There hasn't been a young man at this airport for 70 years. So now we're just looking for Gilroy, but then the man from the flight comes running back over. I guess so. He's back. That took a full
I totally
sentence.
thought this was a different guy, but yeah, he's that guy.
There's one sentence, and now he's back. He runs over and he says, "Your uncle will be looking in the wrong place. When you get into the desert near the cacti, continue for another 2.7 miles northeast. Good luck," he adds, and then rushes away.
Oh,
He skids around a corner, you follow him, but the hallway is empty. Where did he go?
Gone.
Into a cave of time. That's where he went.
I think Danny is about to fact check our objection. Cacti? No.
Oh no,
We don't
yeah,
got no cacti.
there
You
are
don't say
no
cacti?
cacti native to the Australian continent.
Yeah,
there
we don't
are
have-
some introduced ones or cactus-y
Are
things in
there?
a
I've
couple
never
of
seen a
places.
cactus.
No, not so much. Like
In the
when
wild.
we went to California, Nevada, seeing
Yeah.
cacti was amazing.
Yeah, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
look, like on TV.
Okay, so
weird.
either somebody didn't do their research or something pretty weird is happening in that desert.
I'm starting
Well,
to think that maybe
I
this.
don't know. I haven't been to Alice. Maybe there's lots of introduced cactuses.
It doesn't sound like it. It kind of sounds like it was all in our places where all of the colonialism first happened. They brought in prickly pear, and then everyone said this was a terrible idea. It really likes it here.
Why
Wow.
did we do
They
this?
should have said. You should have said when you're looking at the kangaroo paw or some other desert pea, Sturt's desert pea.
Yeah.
When you're looking at Sturt's desert pea, go the other way.
It should be unhelpful but real.
That's probably what it was originally, and the editors were like, "It's got to be cacti. We can't."
You gotta sing it.
It's a desert.
Honestly, if it was cactuses, I'd be happier.
True.
I
Cactopodes.
feel like maybe this guy is actually just messing with you, and it's an extremely good prank.
It's very
To just
That
like
would be
run up and say
pretty
he's looking in
great.
the wrong place. But we will have
Idiot.
to find out. So you kind of memorize these directions to yourself.
All right, you feel a tapping on your shoulder. You turn around. Oh my gosh, it's Gilroy. So that's okay. So it's scary for a second, but it's just Gilroy.
This is very goosebumps.
And he's like, "I'm so glad you guys took a plane because I decided today we have to leave right away. If you'd taken a train, this jerk says, I would have had to wait." So he's very excited that
Oh
you're there.
no. Okay, I'm liking this. I'm liking our
yeah,
chances.
this is good. We're already with Uncle Gilroy.
Yep.
I feel like we're doing really good here. He wants to take you to meet the others, and you say the others, and he's got an Aboriginal tracker friend who found the amulet by the name of, I don't know if you guys are any good with pronouncing Aboriginal names, Beninui?
They sound believable. Like
I mean,
it
presumably
sounds
any
believable.
name from someone from Alice Springs would be from a completely different Aboriginal language group than
Any of the ones
stuff
near
that
us.
we're used to in
Gotcha,
Sydney.
gotcha.
So,
Okay, cool.
I don't know.
We'll go with Beninui.
It's all going to be guesswork. Yep.
But that's his guide. That's Uncle's guide. And Ophelia Redburn, unless anyone has any
Nice.
alternate pronunciations on that one.
Oh, I don't
I
care.
think-
She's my favorite.
It's a really good name. Ophelia Redburn. A colleague of Uncle's on the archaeological trail. Where's that? I want to go to that. Moments later, we're in his Land Rover. We're already in the Jeep with him.
Nice.
And we're cruising the
Perfect.
streets of Alice Springs. Where are you guys at? Oh, you're probably still on train, right?
Yeah, we're fine. We're having a nice time.
Okay, well, I'll keep going then.
The train actually crashed into an archaeological dig site, and we're already there.
Well,
While you're still driving down. We've got to drive down to the train tracks. Aha, we're already there.
Dang it. So now we're trying to find out what the trouble is, and Gilroy is going to give us the download, which I'm going to read real quick.
Wow. Okay, so your uncle's been having some issues. The trouble that he mentioned that he didn't want to get into on the phone. Things were getting too weird for him, he says. The press were coming in through the window. He had gun makers trying to purchase the formula for the polymer and the amulet that he found to make plastic guns,
What?
as you do.
Well,
He's getting inquiries about uranium from some dodgy places.
that's very Australian.
Specifically, 3 mysterious people at the Aboriginal settlement looking for Beninui. He couldn't find any camels anywhere, even though there's usually tons of them around for expeditions.
Is that true?
Yeah, we
Believe
have
it or
one
not,
of the
that's real.
largest camel
Cool.
populations
Oh, that's so
in
cool.
the world.
I had no
All
idea.
introduced, but they came here and they're like, "Man, deserts are awesome," and so we got
Right.
a lot of camels.
Nice. And then finally, somebody searched his room while he was out making calls, and he's pretty sure he's just got a feeling, I guess, that his maps were photographed.
Oh, you can tell if someone's taking a picture. Of
Like
one
you
of your
look at a
maps.
map when you
It's
wake up in
just
the morning,
not
you're
the
like, I love
same.
that
You can
map.
tell.
Why do you think
Yeah.
the
Come back
Mona
later,
Lisa is
you're like,
behind glass? It's because you can tell
Yeah,
when
anytime
someone's
you take a
photographed.
photograph, yeah.
Exactly.
So he's got no idea who's behind it. He's pretty sure it's probably multiple groups who are up to getting into his business. But he's like, "Hey, here we are," and he slams on the brakes for no good reason. Apparently, pulls up to another Land Rover, and Ophelia and Beninui are in there,
Oh, sweet.
and we're off to page 91.
I'm very excited to meet these two characters.
Yeah, this is a good team, I think.
Yeah. I'm extremely curious about Ophelia Redburn. That's just a very
Okay,
intense-
Ophelia's cool. She says everyone calls her Fifi,
Oh. I
and
mean, that's
Beninui
fine.
says, "Hey there," gives you a wave, a shy smile. So everybody's getting packed up. Fifi gives you a little conspiratorial wink, or are
Which
you
is
imagining it?
Weird. I don't know why.
And she reminds you of someone, but who the heck does she remind you of? You can't figure it out.
That's
It's
weird.
the guy from the plane.
It's Ned.
The guy from the plane, definitely. It's
Oh my
Ned,
gosh.
the cat.
All right, new predictions.
So, your uncle asks you how much you know about Satyrion. You say not much, which is cool.
Yep, this is
Gilroy.
It
helpful.
should be like it's 2.7 miles from the first patch of cacti.
I know that. So Gilroy starts giving us the download. He believes Satyrion was an ancient civilization that existed within this continent. Oh, when this continent was still part of the landmass that included Asia. Okay, so real old school.
Sure.
That's Gondwana land.
Oh, nice. Gondwana land. I like that. Oh, man, are you making stuff up on me again?
No, that's real.
When
That's
Pangaea
real.
split, we were on the Gondwana land part.
That's pretty awesome. Several different sets of ancient cave paintings have been found. Clues from them indicate that the capital of Satyrion was located somewhere in the Gibson Desert. he actually thinks the Gibson was created when Satyrion was destroyed in an incredibly powerful explosion,
Yeah, that's
which is
good
how
to see.
most
Huh.
deserts are made, I feel like.
Australian deserts not like this is going to be interesting because Central Australian deserts are former oceans.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's why they call him a renegade, you know? He's throwing it all
I would
out
like
the
to point
window.
out that there is the first we have like from the beginning hit our first like problematic colonial issue of, oh yeah, we knew there were Aboriginals, but that didn't count because they weren't advanced enough. I found the real
Right.
civilization that used to live on this continent. It's like, no, we've got
Yeah.
we've got hundreds
Yeah,
of
there you
thousands
go.
years of actual civilization on this continent. Like, you don't
Yeah,
need to.
nope.
We don't need to find
Nope.
oh no, but they were probably white or something. Like it's
Yeah, but think
already
about
it's
it.
a bit
They
of
might
a-
have been white.
also-
Yeah.
I also want to go with looking at this map that highlights where the Gibson Desert is. Do you think we flew close enough?
Oh, why did we go to Alice Springs to get to the Gibson Desert?
Oh no! Did we go the wrong way?
No, it's where your dumb uncle is. You had to go there.
Not
Oh.
not quite. It is probably the closest major-ish city to the Gibson Desert.
We would have been close if we stayed in Adelaide.
We should have just
We were never in
hijacked
Adelaide.
We were.
We should
It's a
have just
little bit
hijacked
like
the
the,
plane.
It's
It's
a
going
little
to
bit
take us a while, and it's going to be a deeply unpleasant
Yeah.
drive.
It's a little bit
Oh,
like
man.
the episode of Beyblades where he
Oh,
went
yeah.
to Australia and then he ran from Perth to Alice Springs, which is like
No, he ran to the top of Uluru. I'm pretty
yes,
sure.
he ran to the
and
top.
I
which
believe
is-
he saw snow.
yeah, so he saw snow
Oh,
in the
boy.
desert after
Huh.
running like kind of like half the width of the continental United States in a day. It was good, you know.
It sounds like a pretty sick episode of Beyblades. I'm not gonna lie.
That's right.
Yeah, actually, you've blown my mind. I had no idea Beyblades was about anything like. I'm in now.
Now I just want to
I'm
go
in
rip
deep
some Beyblades. Who wants to rip some blades with me? All right, now
No,
we
No, you
gotta
can't
focus
say that in
here.
Australia. That means something totally
Oh
different.
no!
Doesn't.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so-
We're making this so hard for you.
Please
No,
continue.
this is perfect. This is
this,
a
looks
delight.
this is more everything we ever hoped it would be.
So Gilroy's a little bummed out because he's become sort of the butt of jokes in the archaeological community.
Fair.
But Beninue's find has changed all of that.
Oh, he found the amulet.
Yeah,
Okay.
so he was on walkabout. Is it okay to say walkabout still? Probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was out in the desert on his own doing his thing. And he had a dream and he found some cacti and he dug
Okay.
nearby and he found that amulet.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're like, "Oh my gosh, cacti." And you're like, "Gilroy, does anybody know about this? About the amulet and how it was found?" And he's like, "No, you and Beninu and I haven't even told Fifi. I don't know why he hasn't told Fifi. It's bizarre.
yeah, that's weird.
He hasn't. So you're like, okay, I got to tell you about this dude on the plane. So you tell him, and he's like, what? How did he know about that? So now the four of you, so now Fifi knows. Now the four of you are talking about it around the fire. Gilroy thinks this dude's trying to lead them off the track on some wild goose chase.
Okay.
But Fifi's like, I don't know. Maybe we should take a look.
Yeah,
So
because it
she's
was
like,
her.
why don't I go? Oh, right. Why don't I go take a look? She says sneakily.
Mm-hmm.
While you and Beninu go begin the excavation at the original find, and Gilroy's like, that sounds pretty good. And Fifi turns to you and says, do you want to come with me?
Oh, okay. So Fifi's splitting off, and we have to choose whether or not to go with her.
Or stay with your uncle and Beninu?
I don't know. I don't know if I trust her. What do you think?
I super don't trust her, but does that mean that so that means we go
Right.
with her? We keep tabs on her?
To keep an eye on her or just stay away from her? Maybe we should keep, if we both don't trust her, maybe we should keep tabs on her.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I think first instinct, let's stick with it.
Stick with it? Okay. We're gonna
What can
keep
she
our
do to
eye.
us in the middle of a desert?
What can a
Uh-oh.
grown up do
Safest
to a
place to
child in
go.
the middle of a desert? Okay, so this is why our parents never let us out on our own, because we just
What do
12
I know?
hours
I think
later,
she
we're
looks
in the
like Ned the cat.
And this is the only way to find out if she is actually Ned the cat. So I think this is the right choice. All right, we are going with Fifi. Good for us.
All right, so it takes you longer to get there than you anticipate. You got
called
some
that.
rough terrain, but you get there. The desert sun drops fast. You don't have time to do much before it gets dark, so you barely get the camp set up and a fire built. For some reason, Fifi keeps smiling mysteriously to herself.
Cats do smile a lot.
And then before you guys,
going, oh, sorry, I didn't see you there.
Before you guys hit the hay
whole
for the
drive.
night, she asks you, "You know the way back, don't you?"
Oh,
No.
This strikes you as a weird question, but yeah, you know how to get back. As soon as your head hits the pillow, you're out.
No.
No, this is great. She's not trying to murder us. She's
Yeah,
just
that's pretty
going to
good.
abandon us.
But it gets windy and it wakes you up, and you're like, "Hey, Fifi, should we find a better place to sleep?" Oh, but she's not there anymore, if you can believe it.
Shakara.
That is so very disappointing. Of course. If somebody asks you, if somebody's camping with just you and they say, "You know the way back, right?" at bedtime, you do not go to sleep.
Yeah, even if you're a child and you are sleepy, you should know better.
Get out of bed and hash it out.
But the good news
Once
is we're off to page 105, and things are about to get crazy.
Better news. I'm still getting cat vibes.
True.
Yeah, that is still very cat for sure.
She comes back in the morning with a dead kangaroo rat.
Okay, so we run out into the blowing sands screaming Fifi, Fifi.
Not a cool look.
We go up a small rise to get a better view, and then we stop frozen in our tracks. Wow, okay. Below us,
The ancient
100 yards in the distance, a huge glowing ball, 6 stories high, is descending
Oh.
slowly to the earth.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that a rocket ship?
Nah, it's Captain Cook's ghost.
It could still be either, so let's find out. Hundreds
There
of
are
people.
hundreds of people from all around the world clustered in front of this thing.
What?
But at the back of the crowd, you see somebody, and it's Fifi. So you go running down the hill, and she's talking to a guy. Guess who it is, everybody?
It's
Can you
Fifi.
guys guess?
It's Captain Cook's ghost.
Ah!
it's not.
No, it's not. It's that guy from the plane.
It's a group of dingoes.
in a
Dressed up as a man.
standing on top of each other in a raincoat.
This is the
It's
annual landing
airport
of the
food.
dingo ball, and this is how dingoes are born. They descend from the sky in a glowing orb.
Oh yeah,
I
is this
said
just like
that
a
you were
normal thing?
circled by
Is this a thing that
dingoes.
happens all the time, actually?
Yeah, is this just like a normal thing that was giant 6-story glowing ball?
Oh,
with,
yeah.
with hundreds of people just in the desert out of nowhere looking at
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, from around
Yeah,
the world.
all the time.
It's
Oh,
been a
okay,
while.
Okay, I thought it was like some crazy thing. Never mind.
Also, if you want to be more Australian, it's 3 dingoes in a dryzer bone, not in a raincoat.
A dryzer bone?
Yeah.
Okay, that one
What was a
feels
dryzer
definitely
bone?
made up.
It's like
That's
no,
a
it's like
Pokemon.
Dryzer bone,
specific.
really?
It's a specific like type of
A waterproof trench coaty
just a big
thing.
water. But they wore them when we had some big international summit in Sydney a few years back. All the politicians wore them, and they just looked like idiots.
Dryzer
Like when
bone?
our politicians wear cool cowboy hats. and you're like,
Dryzer
come
bone,
on.
like dry as a bone, but it's like
Yeah,
dryzer
dryzer bone.
I got some
It was-
pictures.
Yeah. Oh, do you have
Oh.
pictures
Yeah.
of the? which
Not
one?
the politicians,
Dryzer
just
Oh, not the
bone.
politicians.
pictures
It's
of
just,
dryzer
it's literally,
bones.
it's literally just
Listeners
a,
at home will have to
jacket.
Google, but
I
it's worth
like
doing. Oh,
the
I love these
cool-
things.
It's the cool shoulders.
And we had them at like the G20 or the G or
Yeah,
some
something like
summit
that.
we had a while ago. It was very.
It's
cool.
the preferred code of kids who are shooting up their school
Yes.
in America.
Um,
But it keeps you dry. That's the point.
Keeps you
So
dry,
everybody,
that's what
you
you
run
need.
up and you say, "Hey, what's going on?" And everybody cheers in the crowd because the big old ball has landed.
the huge
Oh,
silver
and-
ball has landed. And Fifi
is-
says it's time for me to go to return to where I came from. Is
I think you
this
may have got it.
this
She's
spaceship?
not
you ask?
Ned the cat. She's Poochie.
I must go. My
Sorry,
planet
is
needs
it a
me.
spaceship?
I ask, and I say, "Are you an alien?" And she smiles a sad smile, and then you realize who she reminded you of earlier. She reminded me of the man standing next to her.
The guy from the plane. He's the guy
Yeah,
from
the guy
the
from the
plane.
plane.
That's yeah.
They just-
Right.
why does he? Wait, what?
The guy
So
from
he
the
is
plane that
standing
you met
next
on the
to her
plane is
right
standing
now.
next to her, and that's who she reminded you of that whole time. That guy on the plane. To say that she
Oh.
reminded you of the guy standing next to her is an insane thing to write down, and nobody should have ever said that.
So, but like are they brother and sister or something?
This is the
One
strangest
alien
moment to
reading a
mention
book.
it as well.
So she says that she used to reside on Earth before the accident. The guy says both of us did. We were citizens of Satyrion.
What?
What? You're like, huh? And Fifi's like, oh, Earth was even more magnificent than now. Everything was great. Everybody was nice and fair, and there was plenty of food for everybody. But there was only one problem: nuclear energy.
Okay.
All right.
It was messy and dangerous, but cheap. Someone's
Wow.
got opinions. Her
All
friend
right.
tells you.
This has gotten
Many of-
political.
Many of us fought against its use, but to no avail. We could see the end coming. We were forced to move to a friendly planet, not half as wonderful as this, in order to survive. Dang.
So the epicenter of the Great Catastrophe,
Now,
was
hold
right
on. Do you
there.
know when this book was written? Was this book written in
1988.
When was Chernobyl?
85?
Well, then
Yeah.
that's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Sure. So life
Um,
was extinguished on Earth during the Great Catastrophe, which happened right there in the Gibson Desert.
86.
But the hull of the old reactor is right over there, she says, pointing at a ruin.
just right there,
Oh
huh?
my god.
Don't
Okay.
go over there.
The rest
All
of the,
life on Earth gone.
but that hull is all right. So they're here to try and stop it from happening again. Let's take just a brief moment to say congratulations
You did it, Danny.
on that prediction.
Yeah, pretty good.
Oh,
Pretty
That
solid.
is-
Unbelievable.
You predicted
I
it.
can't believe we
Un-
got straight there.
Honestly, like it's not too. I mean, it's a little surprising that there even is a spaceship in this one, but that
Yeah.
we got that journey.
That's amazing.
You did it.
You're a natural. You're a natural. So okay, so I'm asking why they're here, and they're here to prevent it from happening again. Humans aren't as advanced in this cycle as they were in theirs.
Oh.
So they're like, we're gonna come see if we can help this out. So they've been doing this for years, for like 10 years. They've to try and change people's ideas. She says, we've planted the seeds. The rest is up to you. That's a lot of time to devote to actually just leave now. That is what's happening, right?
Yeah, if you have this crazy, and they're taking all of these people. I guess
Everybody's
they've been all
leaving.
around the world trying to help.
Mm.
Trying to change people's minds about
Trying to convince
nuclear
people
energy.
that the life of power over things, like nuclear energy, is not good. But drawing the energy within, they say, which is vague and not helpful. I hope they left
Shit.
more
I was-
specific pamphlets.
I was going to ask what their alternative that they had in mind was, because there are
energy
many
within.
different directions this could go. And
Canola biofuel.
yeah,
Geothermal?
Oh,
Love,
geothermal
maybe?
power within the
Love
earth.
was
right?
the energy all along.
Love. I think probably love. Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right. Or ghost.
Or
True
family.
energy
Power
with the
It's
within.
friends
either
we made
love or
along the way.
family. Yeah. Or friends. Yes. Love, family, or friends. It's one of those.
Or bones. Pull them out and grind them up. Lots of power.
Oh,
The energy within. How clear can we make this? So yeah, all these hundreds of people from all over, or aliens, I guess, from all over the world, they board into the large ball. It lifts into the air, hovers briefly, and zooms skyward. In a while, it's lost among the stars. The next day, you bring Gilroy to what remains of Satyria. News of the reactor. Okay, because there is still a ruin there. Quickly makes headlines. And okay, and then we devote the rest of our life to eliminating nuclear energy and weapons of mass destruction. Good on us.
oh,
If anyone is still alive to read this tale, you will know your efforts have not been wasted.
oh my god!
And Shannon Gilligan slams the typewriter thing to the side, takes her glasses off, leans back, takes a deep swig of scotch, and says, My work here is done.
I've done it.
Well deserved, Miss Gilligan.
Although the bad news is there's still a
Wow.
bunch of nuclear power.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
didn't
we
grow up.
haven't been destroyed, so that's intense. If anyone is still alive
That
to
was
read
a
this
lot.
tale, you will know your efforts have not been wasted.
Ah,
That's quite an ending sentence.
I love
Because,
Yeah, because it's
as
it's,
always, these books are for kids.
I think that was okay. I gotta say, you guys got your work cut out for you.
it. Yeah, that's a pretty good read.
That's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, we're going to have a pretty
Imagine
short
if
read where we
hadn't
get there too
followed
late.
her.
with the called
Oh, yeah.
shot prediction and everything. Oh, oof, boy.
Oh, very good.
So, hey, team, what's the name of our team? Do we have a team name? Lasers?
Evens.
Hawk Blasters?
Oh, yeah, we should come up with cool names.
What's something cool that you like?
Yeah, each of you say a cool thing that you like. on
Okay,
Yeah,
three,
okay,
one
okay,
pick
okay.
an
and put
adjective.
them together
and
to
one
get
pick a
Oh,
just
noun.
got a cool.
Okay.
You got a cool.
Sure.
Bill, do you want to
Actually-
pick a?
Yeah.
Do you want to pick an adjective or noun?
Okay, I'll do an adjective,
Okay.
and you can. So we'll go first.
Okay.
We'll show you how it's done.
Yeah, please.
Okay, yeah.
All right, here we go. Ready? On
Okay.
three.
Yeah.
I say, or after three. After three.
Yeah,
'cause then I
you just
can't
go
say it.
first.
No, you have to at the same time. You can't
Okay.
think about it.
Yeah, you're right.
After three, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Baffling.
Skateboards.
We're the baffling skateboards. It's perfect.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Skateboards
Okay,
are
are we
cool.
ready? Are we ready to
All
go?
right.
You want to do the adjective?
You can do the adjective. I'll do a noun.
All right,
But
okay,
it's
cool.
gotta be
I'll count you in. I'll count
completely-
you in.
Unthought about.
Here we go.
Sure.
1, 2, 3.
Screaming.
Clowns. Oh God, why did I do that?
Screaming clowns.
Yeah. Now we're getting in your heads. It's an
I gotta be
intimidation
honest.
game.
I am now terrified.
You're like the ones that's like at like carnivals where you put the ball in the clown's mouth, except it's just constantly going.
You get to the end of the
Turns
putt chorus, and the
left and
people who work
right.
there are like, "Please get it in the clown's mouth. Just stop the sound for a moment."
Well, I've created my next decade of nightmares.
Team
And then
screaming clowns.
and then
for
me
the
and
win.
Matt just
We'll see.
fly past 10 feet in the air on hoverboards, and they're just like, "Whoa,
like,
how does that skateboard work? What's going on there? I
Yeah.
don't understand it."
You can't figure it out. It's baffling.
What a baffling skateboard! All right, we've done it.
Beautiful.
I'm so
All right. Well,
sorry.
I'm
You may
excited
have
to
the
see.
you may get the better read, but we've got the better team.
I don't think. I think our team name
Well,
is
we
the
have
most
skateboards.
amazing team now ever. But before we find out what happens to y'all, why don't we take a quick break and do a quiz? Yeah? I'll
yeah.
I'll just start off with the jangle.
It's a game we play to ask each other things when we have guests. It's
Choose your adventure or
dun dun dun.
I got it as well. See, I came in at the end there. It was fine.
Perfect.
Yeah, that
That's
was
all we
really
needed.
good. Actually, that did add a lot.
We've got a quiz.
Our guests,
We
so
wrote a
very
quiz.
deeply kindly, told us that they were bringing a quiz today, which is very exciting. So I'm kind of on tenterhooks here.
Oh,
All
cool.
right.
It's
Oh,
not a
look
very
at
long
you.
one, and honestly, by now I'm nervous because you know all the choose your own adventures, but we'll see how
You'd
it goes because
We'll
some of these are astonishingly hard to choose between. So we're escape room podcasters first and foremost. So we have gone choose your own adventure or escape room from the Top Escape Room Project's top 50 rooms of 2019.
Oh boy!
I meant to
boy.
research this because I thought it could happen, and I forgot like an idiot. So
Oh,
okay, so here we
man.
go.
Okay.
I will say it was difficult to not find ones that were both. There is some definite both,
Oh,
but we haven't
that's
included
awesome.
any on this list.
All right.
Okay,
Shall I go?
wow.
on mine?
Yeah, yours first.
All right. So I've got. I think we have eight each.
Yep.
And
Okay.
so you can determine whether these are choose your own adventures or escape rooms from the 2019 Top Escape Room Project Top 50 list. Here we go.
Awesome.
Oh wow. Okay.
Escape.
Oh, I think it's well. Okay, you
That's
said
a
it's
choose.
Not both.
It's not
It's
going
a
to be both.
choose.
So that's a
It's a
choose.
choose.
That is a choose your own adventure number 20.
Yeah.
Yes.
So first,
Beyond Escape.
choose.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, choose.
That is a choose your own adventure number
Hey.
61.
Nice work.
Such a bad title.
Abduction 3.
Ooh, they don't usually use numbers in their sequels and choose, but it could be like a weird alien code number or something.
Yeah, what was that like spaceship 58E? Whatever. Remember
Yeah.
that one? I think this is an escape room though.
I'm gonna go escape room too.
We're gonna go escape.
It is number 8 on the list of top escape rooms.
Ooh.
Nice, number 8.
Nicely
Now,
done.
Was that an actual like? Was that the third version of abduction, or was that
don't
just
know.
a
That's
cool...
a very good question. I didn't research further.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Greed, Guns, and Gold.
That's a choose.
Nice. Yep. Choose.
Choose. Yes. Choose your adventure number 170.
That would be
We
an
should've
excellent
done that one
escape room.
instead of Deadwood City, probably.
Yeah, we should have.
That was probably the answer to Deadwood City. They were like, okay, fine, you're not happy with Deadwood City. Here's what you want: greed, guns,
Guns
and gold.
and gold
everybody's like, oh yeah,
and
that
cattle.
sounds good.
It's perfect.
All right. Next one. Here we go. You're doing well. You got 100% so far.
Pretty good.
I feel like you've been doing these long enough that you should not get the points for the choose your own unless you can tell me the number off the top of your head.
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
Oof.
All right. Galactic Pioneers.
Oh,
Golly.
Galactic.
that sounds
Pioneers.
very choose your own adventure.
Really does.
Almost sounds too choose your own adventure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think I gotta go escape.
I
on
think
this
it's
one.
an escape room.
Room number 46 on the top.
Ooh.
Nice job.
Wow,
Some
46
of these
barely
are so
made the list.
similar, I've forgotten them.
All right, here we go. Next one.
Yeah.
Mystery of the Secret Room.
Oh, choose.
Oh no, are you sure?
Yeah, this is the one where it's got the worst possible name, but the book is like you have different doors that you could pick, and they take you to different crazy adventures. It's supposed to be really fun.
Oh.
That also sounds exactly like an escape room.
True.
Yeah.
It does. It does. It should be an escape room.
It feels like there's a lot of
Oh,
good
but choose.
crossover here.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You are correct. Choose your own adventure number 63.
You are nailing it so far.
63.
All right, next one. Lab Rat.
Oh, that's a escape room in Los Angeles.
It isn't. I think we told you to go do Lab Rat when we
Yes,
talked to you
that's
last
how I
time.
know.
That is room 12 in the top 50 rooms. Really, only
Wow.
12. Should be higher. Good old Lab Rat.
That's
What a
amazing.
classic room.
Also, somebody write a Choose Your Own Adventure called Lab Rat, please.
Yeah,
That too.
seriously.
It would really make you think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's one called You Are a Shark. How can there not be
Yeah.
Lab Rat?
You are
Right.
a Lab Rat. All right, and last one on my card, and then Danny will take
Yeah.
over. Neptune's Curse.
Ooh.
brutal. Brutal. We're not going to get this one right, I don't think.
Neptune's Curse.
I'm gonna go against my instincts. I'm gonna say that's a choose, and we've just forgotten about it.
I'll go with you.
I think that's a choose.
I think you're wrong.
Your perfect record is broken.
Yeah.
Room number 22 on the top 50 escape rooms of 2019.
That sounds
Amazing.
So
That
choose.
sounds such.
I want to try that one. That sounds cool.
Ugh.
Probably get wet.
I should have included. I should have made this a big advertising thing. I should have listed where they are.
Well,
How people
we
can
would
do
go.
them,
I
where
was.
they can do it.
I
Go online.
suggested. I
can't
suggested
do them
escape
right
room.
now,
Sorry,
really.
I suggested Choose Your Own Adventures or episode of Escape This Podcast.
That would have been so good.
That's a good idea.
But then we
I'm
did,
sure people
we
are
did an
pausing
entire
and Googling
10-episode
as we go.
arc where every episode was a Simpsons quote with one word changed. So,
Wow.
Not
and
quite
it wasn't even
convincing.
vaguely appropriate to the setting. It was a whole, it was
It was Luigi's
it
Mansion
was a
setting.
really sad ghost mansion.
Oh.
With it, was quite, but then we had like episode 2 was called "A Toast to the Host Who Can Boast the Most Ghost." So,
Wow.
Oh, that's really good.
That's
That's
very
really
good.
great.
We take longer thinking of the titles than the episodes. Anyway,
That's how
still
it should
eight.
be in
was-
podcasting.
There's still 8 more. So now it's
Okay,
my 8.
here we go. We're
Okay.
ready. Yeah.
South Pole Sabotage.
Ooh.
If that's not a Choose Your Own Adventure, I'll jump off.
No,
I
no,
won't. I'll
escape
jump
room.
off
Escape
a
room.
rug.
Escape room. It's too much. Sounds too much like a choose your own adventure.
It's too tricky. Yeah, escape room.
Yeah.
It is a Choose Your Own Adventure, number 89.
What? I want to do that one.
All right. An Avalanche of Oblivion.
Okay, that's got to be an escape.
That's a room. Yeah.
That is an escape room number 26 on the list.
Island of Oblivion. That sounds intense.
does.
That's gonna be bedtime for me tonight.
All right. We have Going Underground.
Oh.
What a great Choose Your Own that would be. You are
You're
a mole
staring
man.
at the
Would you like to go underground? Go underground. Go to the diner. Yeah, go to the diner. I'm gonna go room. I think room. What do you think?
I think room. Yeah.
It is escape room number 13. Good job.
Hey,
All right,
look at
next
number
one.
13.
You'll get this one, but it's my personal favorite. You Are Microscopic.
Oh, that's got to be. That's got to be the
I think
choose,
it's a
right?
room. I think it's
No,
a
it's
room.
a choose. It's a choose.
You are microscopic as a choose?
Yeah.
All right, man.
It is a choose. It's number 130.
Hey! I
Great
feel
work,
like
because I desperately want to read that one.
That sounds
you're,
really
you're
good.
like pretty tiny in lab rat, right? You're a rat, right?
Yeah.
Or like
I've
rat
got
size.
to, man, Labrador is very good.
But microscopic has got to be a fantastic voyage sort of thing,
That's
right?
not-
You've got to
yeah,
go
that's
inside
not
the
there
body.
you go.
It's not even Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's
Yeah.
cells and
fantastic
stuff.
Voyage. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
woof.
All right, how about supercomputer?
That's a
Choose.
choose.
That is a choose, number 39. The Man from Beyond.
How could that be an escape room?
But how
very
could that
intriguing
not
name
be
for
the
an escape
best
room.
escape room?
Yeah, let's
Can
go
we
escape
guess?
room.
We're going room and we're gonna guess the number.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
escape
guess
room. It's
8.
gonna be
Number
high.
8. 8 on
I'm
the
gonna
list.
say 7.
It is an escape room whopping number 3.
Oh
Wow, we were right about
It
being
is
high.
one of the best out there.
'Cause
With
the
a name
title's so
like
good.
that.
All right, just 2 more to go.
Okay.
The Worst Day of Your Life.
That's a choose. That would be an
Fantastic
amazing
sounding
You go into your
choose.
uncle's pig farm and the truck breaks down. That's how that book starts, in case anybody's wondering.
So you end up becoming a cattle farmer on that one as well?
Yeah, or a journalist. It's tough to say.
Or one of your uncle's cattle.
Yep. Choose your own number
Or your own
100.
uncle.
Okay, and the last one, absolute final, best title of anything. Ghost Hunter Ernie Hudson and the Zoo of Death.
Wow. That has to be An escape room, but that's the best title I've ever. Please tell me that's number 1 escape room.
That's number 2 escape room.
Number 2?
I
Okay.
wish it's number 35, but it ought to be.
It promises too much. That's the problem.
It promises Ernie Hudson, which is a big promise. It would
Is
be
there
a
Ernie
good get.
Hudson in it? Wow.
Yeah, everyone look, don't get me wrong, everyone loved Ernie Hudson. The Zoo of Death, it's divisive.
Yeah, he never got out.
guys are
Ernie
very
Hudson
well.
is still in there.
Thank you for that quiz. That was
Thank you. That was
very
amazing.
fun. And now I
mean,
just want
you
to
only
spend the
got-
rest of the. Huh?
There's only one wrong on my card and only one wrong on yours.
I stopped paying attention to right and
Real
wrong.
well.
Yeah,
That was
so-
awesome.
Fantastic. Yeah, now I
Excellent.
want to spend the rest of my night just looking up escape rooms and reading what
Yep.
they're about. That sounds really fun. They all sound so delightful. But back to the business.
let's get
The
Yeah, it's
business
time for the
of reading
baffling
this book.
skateboards.
Let's get on that train.
Baffling skateboards are on the move.
And y'all
We're
know
gonna
now that
find
we've
the
started this,
ghost
you're going to have
of
to keep coming
Captain
back until
Cook.
we read this entire book, right?
Oh, I'm happy to.
I am
Okay.
You
comfortable
want
with
to do a
that.
guest arc? I'm happy to.
Yeah, it's just going to take place over like 12 years.
Yeah, once a year on some random Australian holiday. Let's get together.
No, I mean, we'll have to
What's
do
the
a couple
next
times a year,
random
I think.
Australian holiday?
Queen's birthday.
Queen's birthday. We'll come back for Queen's birthday.
Perfect.
Are you
Perfect.
making stuff up again?
So
No,
here's what.
when's Queen's birthday? Middle of
June something.
Yeah. That's
Good
a
try.
couple-
The
a couple
Queen
weeks
doesn't
away.
have a birthday. She's
Well,
always
that's
been
not actually-
and will
It isn't
always
actually
be.
the Queen's birthday.
Oh,
It's just the celebration of her birthday.
Like
oh, that's
Christmas?
awkward. I guess she has plans on her actual birthday, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
She just
Is
wants to deal
Canada's
with
Queen's
that.
birthday the same as ours?
I mean,
Because
I would
Canada does a
assume
Queen's
so.
birthday. public
Why
holiday.
wouldn't it be the same?
Well, maybe she celebrates her birthday differently in every
Oh, she's milking it.
every Commonwealth
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, I would go to, if I had colonies, I would celebrate my birthday on a different day for a whole month in every colony. Boop, 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 boop.
Exactly.
And people
Oh
would be
my
like,
God, it
colonialism
It's
is bad. And
true.
I'd be like,
Queen's
birthdays are
birthday in
cool.
Canada's in May.
Yeah, right? She's milking it.
Oh, that's so
Ridiculous.
messed up. That's so messed up.
No way.
Now Google Queen's birthday Jamaica.
Oh my God. It's going to be different every
Sorry,
time.
we're hijacking your podcast to find out about all the different Queen's birthdays.
Hot
this
news,
won't be
everybody.
in the
We are
podcast.
calling out the queen.
Yeah, calling out the Queen.
This is
That's
breaking
the new
news.
name of our podcast.
this is the new serial. We're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
Queen's birthday Jamaica.
Okay. So just say in Jamaica, it's May 24th. In Canada, it is somewhere between May 18th and 24th.
Oh,
Depends on
that's-
flights and prices and stuff.
yeah, whenever she
Yeah,
can get a
that's
flight to go to Jamaica afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure she turns up to each country on her birthday
There's that one
celebration.
She's
hotel
having
she really
different
likes.
She's having like 20 birthdays a year.
That's why she's so old.
Okay, the wheels have come off of the carriage. I'm putting
Which
it
isn't
back
great
on.
for your train.
That's how she's gonna beat Victoria. She's like, well, actually, if you go by how many birthdays you've had while in office, while in charge, I'm the
I'm
longest reigning queen.
763.
Every birthday grants me another 5 years of life.
It's like the opposite. It's like the opposite of those leap day babies who are like,
Yeah.
well, I'm only 21 years old. You know, it's like, no,
I
you're
hate
not.
those guys.
You're
It's
not
just
old,
so
man.
sad to see
Just
so
stow
many
it.
birth leap year people die at the young age of 21, 22. It's hard.
It's really tragic.
Here's why the baffling skateboards are cool. We actually get to meet the taxi driver. You guys got in a taxi and took it to the airport and didn't even talk to the taxi
Didn't
driver.
even say
but
hi.
We're,
Rude.
Okay, well,
Friends
Matt,
with
tell
this
me
taxi
exactly
driver.
what the taxi driver says in your read.
where
Read
will
me
it
the
be?
extensive amount of lines.
No, I'm sorry. I'll tell you what the problem was. It's that we got into the taxi and he was like, oh man, what a cool skateboard. Can you tell me about it? Whereas you guys got into a taxi and he turned around and said, where will you be heading? And you went, and so really,
Taxi
what do you
drivers
expect?
do hate that.
Well, here's what'll blow your mind. The
First
taxi
of all-
driver talks and she says,
Bill.
Oh,
is that true?
progressive.
Are there lady taxi drivers in Australia?
Yeah, is that true?
I don't think I've ever been in a taxi with a
I
female driver now that I think about it. That's
Legitimately
kind of wild.
cannot picture
Oh,
that
I'll tell you
having
a fun
happened
piece
to
of
me.
taxi culture that's different.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You ready for this?
Oof.
In Australia,
You drive it. Oh.
no, very commonly, you'll just jump in the front seat.
What?
And if you do that
Do
in
you
America,
hold
they're like,
hands?
what are you doing here? Get out,
Yeah,
get into the
that's-
back.
that's
But
not
in
cool.
Australia, very
Yeah,
often,
you'll
if
always,
you just jump in
there'll
the
always
front,
be someone in the
and just
front.
like sit next to him.
I feel like a lot of times there's a tucker bag in the front seat.
They got to move the tucker bag first. But it's very common in Australia.
Little
to sit in the
taxi
front of a
tuck?
taxi.
A little taxi tuck. Tuck in a taxi. We're using
Just
it
thought
wrong,
I'd give you some fun taxi
Yeah.
facts.
Everything
That's
else is the
interesting.
same. It's just that.
Well, let me just say that don't get in the front seat. Just get in the back seat. Leave those
Would they
people
be?
alone.
Would you think they would be offended if you get in the back seat, or is that okay?
No, I don't think
Or is there, like, a bunch of
It's
stuff
just
back
much more
there?
common. It's a normal thing to do.
No, okay, cool. Rock and roll.
Now I'm going to get some tweets from angry taxi drivers who hate it.
Thanks. No, it'll never end
Also, you
because
get a
of this
nicer
podcast.
you get a nicer moment with Waldo and yours.
Yeah, this is
Waldo
sweet.
gives you a shy hug. It says.
Aww.
Aw.
And tells you to watch out for wild camels, which is apparently a thing.
Okay,
Is that
it's
a thing?
real, but watch out
It's
for
not that,
them.
not that real, but that's fine.
That might tell us more about Waldo and what
Yeah,
he's feeling.
Yeah, he's just
about
very
radar.
scared of everything.
So a half
So,
hour
I'm-
later, we're on the Melbourne Star in our second-class sleeping car, right on schedule, taking off to find the lost civilization of Satyrion.
Yeah,
We
too
tried
bad
to read
it's
our
already
archaeology
gone.
book, but we're too pumped. We go to the dining car to get a bite to eat.
Gotta say, if you got a sleeping car,
you
you're not
run-
saving that much money.
Sure.
Yeah, right. You seriously. But
Second
then you
class.
run right into somebody, a short, pasty-looking man.
Nice.
Yes, it's me.
Well, he runs into you. He falls
Oh,
over. You try to
hello.
help.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we got a big one here. You ready for this, you guys?
Ooh.
You try to help him up.
The ghost of Captain Cook.
You try to help him up. He's got a black briefcase. You try to help him up, and he says, "Rack off, you whacker! I can get up
Oh
myself."
my!
That's nothing.
Okay,
So
rack
he has a
off.
heavy
I
accent.
read that was in a Morris Gleitzman book in the 90s, so I know that's real.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Racker. Oh, yeah, no Racker.
You whacker?
That feels like the
Whacker,
person
yeah.
wrote wanker, and they went, "Oh, you can't put that in kids' book."
You can't put that
Oh,
in there. You know
okay.
that
You can't
means,
put that in.
Shannon?
Maybe.
Whacker sounds like it means exactly the same thing.
It does.
Yeah,
It really does.
It's actually worse. But he's speaking in a heavy accent that we can't identify, but using Australian slang.
Oh,
says
no.
the book.
Yeah,
Ooh.
which is weird. And he
You're
runs off,
getting
and
the
then
problem
you
read.
wonder what's he all wobbly about.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, cool.
I would never say
I'd never
that.
say it, but I wouldn't say to someone, "What the hell are you saying?"
Yeah,
You
true.
also think to yourself, he was as cross as a frog in a sock.
That thing?
That just feels like a thing. I've never heard that in my
Again,
life. but
very
it feels like a
believable that
thing.
your
Like, it
older
makes
relative would
sense.
say it.
Gotcha.
All right.
makes
Well,
sense.
that's the first thing that Chris has completely made up.
Let me
And I
share.
feel like that's going to be a real slippery slope for us.
I didn't
See,
make that
it
up.
works both ways.
It's not
I
in
said
there.
that making them up
Yeah, on
was
the
the
bottom
most
of
believable
PG.
way to do it.
Oh, I am so sorry. It actually
I did
does
not
say
make that
cross
up.
as
It's
a
right
frog and a sock. I didn't see this sentence. I thought you were just messing with everybody.
That the last half of that sentence is all crazy stuff.
You will be
this
able to
book
get
is
away
really
with it.
cool
reality for me.
stuff.
Now I've said this one on air before, but one of my favorite ones
Mm.
that my dad used to say, and fairly tongue in cheek, is when you would like say you're going somewhere, like we're gonna go, like say we're off.
Yeah.
You know, that's a fair way to say it, like okay, we're off, like we're gonna
Well,
go.
Yeah.
yeah.
Except you add to that phrase and you say we're off like prawns in the sun
All right.
because they would go off
I get that.
just to go
that
bad.
makes sense. Sure. Yeah.
And it's
And
just
that's a
one
nice
that
way
way.
to make people think about rotten
Rotten
shrimp.
prawns.
Yeah, exactly.
Just that's a fun.
That's
I'm
why
sure I
it's a
probably
way to
said
make them
this-
glad you're leaving.
I'm sure
Yeah.
I didn't even say this like
Nice.
once in my entire childhood, but I just got obsessed with it as a thing to say.
You're like, my dad's so clever. You're in that sweet spot. Okay. So
Okay,
but
so
we
like
head to
any
the-
good Australian, you get to the dining car and get yourself a double coffee milkshake.
What?
That's a bit wild. Australian
that's just
coffee
a
culture is
child
pretty
thing.
intense, but a
Okay.
double coffee milkshake is not part of it.
Okay.
Then
But I
you
don't know,
start
maybe kids like
daydreaming,
coffee milkshakes.
and then somebody says the dining car's closed because it's 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
The
So you-
dining car would be closed well before 11 o'clock.
Yeah, Australians
Yeah.
hate doing anything at night, apparently.
Anyway,
So you get up, you leave a tip. You see the little man. that
No,
you
that's
bumped
all. No,
into.
hold on. That's already a
Nope.
problem. Leave a tip in the dining
What
car
just
of a train. That's
happened?
wild. Get out of here.
Well, you've never been on your own before.
Or maybe it's just a suggestion, like maybe single
we-
coffee milkshakes. Double is a lot. Makes
Yeah,
people
double.
intense.
Of course. A tip for the double.
As you're passing through the first class cars, you see the guy that bumped into you, and he's sound asleep in his own little compartment, and his little precious case is laying there open with papers all over the place.
And you get a little itch to look at the papers,
what?
and there's nobody around, so you could be pretty easy to pretend you're picking up the papers if he catches you looking
It's
at
just
them.
helping out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
so
helping
what do
out.
you want to do? You guys want to take a peep at some
Oh,
papes, or are you going to leave them where they are?
I love these choices
Um,
because I'm always like, what weird thing will happen if we do the least interesting thing? If we're just like,
yeah,
nah.
if you leave them alone and then suddenly you get eaten by a land whale. But no, I think we
No,
we
you
gotta
can't possibly.
what? You gotta look at the papers.
We're just helping pick them up. It's a
We're
mess
just picking
in
them
there.
up. We're
Yeah, and he was
curious
really
young-
rude earlier.
Yeah, he was really rude. He did call us a whacker.
Yeah, yeah. He told you to rack off.
He told us to rack off. I want to read the papers.
I don't know why he was so wobbly, but hey, this is where we are now.
He was like some kind of sock frog. It was ridiculous.
All right, so we check the hallway. There's nobody around, so we sneak in. We pick up some papers and start taking a peek. They're technical readouts, like a seismogram.
And they're classified and restricted.
A seismogram?
Sure, why not?
All right,
Isn't it a seismograph?
Yeah, I would have thought
Yes.
seismograph.
I guess it's a seismogram if you're sending a seismograph to someone else.
Yeah, if you're sending a seismograph to somebody, that's a seismogram.
Seismogram.
That's
Seismogram.
true.
And you're like, oh.
But it's classified restricted U.S. Department of Defense. But why? He's clearly not American because he's got an accent and uses Australian slang.
Whoa.
Although
No,
I
the
will
accent
say
was
that
an American accent. Thank you.
we have
very
all
much,
kinds
Chris
of
Yule.
accents in this great, big, beautiful country.
Yeah, but
Like
they don't
any-
also use Australian slang.
But that's
The
what he was trying to
combo is-
hide, that he was American. He was
Oh,
like,
that's pretty good.
hey, you wanker. I mean,
just-
whacker. Is that what you say here? And we were like, oh, no.
It's not even an accent. It's just an American attempting an Australian accent and just blowing it, just really messing it up.
But then you find another sheet that has your uncle, another piece of paper with your uncle's name. It's talking about something about uranium and Satyrion and a mention of Infiltrator 4, whatever that is.
What are you? Oh, you skipped a. Oh,
it's
you
just-
skipped the
it's
part
just how
where
you
he
find the
steps
paper.
on your hand.
What?
What?
He steps on
He
our hand?
shifts and he
He shifts in his sleep and stomps on your hand, but you don't yell or anything. You're able to keep snooping.
Yeah, you keep
You know
it
what I
quiet
really
and
wanted?
keep moving.
He shifts in his sleep and he steps on your hand. Do you yell out in pain? Turn to page 24.
All right. Sorry.
So you can't really tell what's going on, but if you could look at them a little longer, you could probably figure some more stuff out. But that means you'd have to take them. So should you take them? He might be mad if you do when he finds out they're missing. This is your big choice moment. Steal these
So-
documents from this person or don't.
We'll leave him from now and follow him when we get off at Alice Springs.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Oh, I don't know. How's he going to know it was us?
It's fair.
He may already
my
be suspicious of
documents
us
have
'cause
been
he
stolen.
thought
Must
we
have
were
been
trying
that
to
child
steal
I
us.
bumped into.
He did kind of think we were trying to rob him when we bumped into him.
Oh, okay, fine. We'll leave him. We'll leave his precious documents.
You want to leave it and follow him when we get off at Alice
Yeah.
Springs? Awesome.
Yeah,
I
okay,
mean,
love it.
Already by touching them, you've committed like 8 international felonies.
Yeah, we're just a
Yeah.
kid.
We were just sorting them.
We were sorting
Just
them and
trying
picking
to
them up.
pick them up.
We were
right.
protecting them
So-
from other prying eyes.
Just like we were saying, we shuffle the papers and put it back in the briefcase, shut it, a little click, sounds good. We start to leave. Where do you think you're going? Snaps a nasty voice. He's
no.
awake.
Oh boy.
Chloroform.
So he points a pen at you and pushes a button on it.
We're
The
dead.
first thing that comes to your mind is that's a gun. The good
I'm dead.
news is you don't die, and just a big, thick-necked man appears in the doorway. So
Oh.
it was apparently a paging mechanism. Is that an Australian thing? A pen that is a paging mechanism?
Oh, yeah, we got them everywhere.
I think that's
course.
just an 80s thing.
Oh, it's just like a spy 80s thing.
So the thick-necked man is like, "Yeah, boss," and this guy says, "Get rid of this kid quietly," and you say, "Wait," and that's it.
That's it, the end?
What?
Now there's a hand clamped over our mouth. We're dragged away. We
He
struggle.
puts a towel over our head.
Ties us to a chair. He takes us to the end of the car. He tells us to have a nice day. He opens the door and throws us out into the starry Australian night. The end.
Oh! Well, I think we clearly won that raid.
I mean, it was
How
cooler.
did you get off the
He
train?
threw us off the train.
We were hurled off of a moving train.
To a waiting car?
No, to the ground.
What?
Oh,
I thought
sorry.
it said- Oh,
He
the
dragged
train
us
car.
to the
Yeah, the train
back
car.
car of the final train car.
Sorry, I'm with you. I was picturing that very strangely.
you.
Oh, well,
it.
we didn't really win that one, did we?
But
We
I mean,
didn't
you would
do
ostensibly
great.
still keep going to find your uncle, but I guess he'd be gone at that
No,
point
we're
'cause
dead.
he's with
No, we have
us.
died.
That kills
Yeah,
you?
we're dead. I
Yeah,
mean,
you
we
can't
fell
just
off the
get
back of
thrown
the
off a
train,
train in
moving
a
at full
desert.
speed
In the middle
in
of
the
the
desert.
desert.
Even if we survive the fall, where are we going to go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not looking
And plus,
good.
as soon as you hit the ground, the wild camels are all over you. Waldo's like, I knew it.
Stripping your flesh.
You can never sleep again.
Oh, poor Ned the cat.
Camels can store like 20 liters of human blood in their hump. And they will.
They love it.
Oh, you guys.
Oh,
You
blah,
guys.
blah, blah.
You know what? I'm just
We
let's
followed
just,
our hearts. and our
before we discuss it too much, let me just go ahead and play the jangle.
One will win and one will lose. Who will do the better choose? Yes, there can be only one. Who has lost and who has won? Who will have the winning read? Are you Team Chris or on Matt's team? Who will the big winner be? Listen now and you will see.
But yeah, now we have to decide who won the read. And guys, I think the Screaming Clowns might have come
Okay,
out
no,
on
hold on.
top.
I don't like to toot my own clown nose, but
I don't like to scream my
we
own
destroyed
screams.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I think plus combined with the fact of her amazing prediction, you guys.
Yeah,
that
you
came
got the
true
prediction
in the read.
and then you hit it. I did not predict get thrown up a train because we couldn't sneak out of a room quietly enough.
None of us predicted pen pages, which was sad.
Yeah,
And we were on track for the more boring story anyway. Like, even if we'd kept the pages, it would have been like, yeah, it turns out the US government wants some uranium. Let's not let them have that. Well, okay.
Because nuclear power is bad. And we'd be like, okay, yep.
and the aliens spent 10 years seeding that thought, and now they're out.
Out.
We should be able to handle it from here. Yeah, I think we wrapped
you
up
got
on
it.
that one.
Yeah, congratulations. And Chris, enjoy your double points. That's definitely not going to make me have to have a sad pizza party. Way to
I
go.
owe you big time, Danny. I owe you.
That was amazing.
And
You're my
the
hero.
Oh, painful, brutal.
Those happy, screaming clowns. Send in the... Okay.
You fought for my honor and you won my scarf. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yep.
In
Okay.
Australia, yeah. Everyone's doing it all the
In
time.
Australia.
They're
And
wearing
thank you-
scarves all the time.
Thank you for teaching us so much about Australia. I feel like we learned a lot from this book and
Yeah.
from
It's
you.
true. It's true.
True.
Here's one thing about this book. So we know you're on this train going to
Yeah.
Alice Springs, and there's
right.
something about a uranium mine.
Yep.
Look at the location of the uranium mine owned by my grandfather.
Oh boy.
Ooh,
This is
ooh.
real life.
Beverly.
Is it
Yep.
is it
There's
right between
Adelaide.
Melbourne?
No, it's in South
There's
Australia. So
Flinders
between
Range.
on the train line between Adelaide and Alice Springs.
Whoa.
Like
What?
there is a very good chance that my family's uranium mine could be the uranium from this book.
the uranium mine from this book.
I will say
Wow.
it does say that the mine wasn't opened until 2001, so perhaps not.
Oh,
But the
okay.
uranium may still have been there.
And that could be all
Oh,
just
lovely.
be all falsehoods, right? Maybe they're trying to cover up the connection
Yeah,
to this
trying to
Choose
cover
Your Own
it.
Adventure book.
If my grandfather
That
is
seems
a
likely.
character in this book,
Is he a small, pasty man with a heavy accent that is neither Australian nor American, but he uses Australian
That's it.
slang? Yep, that's him.
That's him.
Is he a thick-necked man who has thrown children off of trains? Probably not. I would bet not.
Is he a cat named Ned?
Ooh.
So many questions. We'll never know the answers.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you. That was lots of fun. I really
Thank
enjoyed
you. It was
playing
so
through.
fun.
And
Thank
it
you,
was
guys.
it was a better experience of Australia in Choose Your Own Adventure form than I thought it would be.
so much better.
Yeah, okay. It's just like people doing things and then saying some slang sometimes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too crazy. I appreciate
Little
it.
I,
hit and miss,
was
but
just
nothing
impressed
insulting.
straight up when the person had brekkie, and I went, "Great, I'm happy."
There you
Yeah,
go.
and as the
Right-
first
right from
sentence
the
is
top.
Brecky. It's beautiful. Well, thank you so
Well,
so
actually,
much
how
for
did
being
they
with us.
how did they spell Brecky?
Oh, how do they spell brekkie?
BREKKIE.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Is that
I
not
stick
right?
a Y at the end of brekkie.
You want a Y? I don't care that much as long as it's the double K. It's all right.
regional.
I was about to
If
say,
they
could
spell
that
it
be a regional
breaky,
thing?
it's all wrong.
Brekkie.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
if
crazy.
they keep trying to
It's
spell it like breakfast, it's all
breaky.
right. As long as it has the double
Breaky.
K in there, it's all good for me.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. When you guys want to hang around with us a little bit while we do maybe roll up a very special Comply and Concrete for one of our listeners.
Yeah.
Please are compliments, you see, and concretes are constructive criticism. Why have one without the other? Why that be no fun? No fun. Sure, it's fun to get a compliment and not not be criticized even a little bit. But would we be better people if we got some constructive criticism with our compliments? It's Complies and Concretes.
All right, welcome to Completes and Concrete Special Guest Edition. It's the same. There's just special guests here.
Yeah,
we're
they're still here.
gonna
Watching, judging.
Matt, you give the spiel. That's your thing, right?
Oh yeah, Completes and Concrete. A complete is a compliment. A concrete is a piece of constructive criticism. And if you want to be considered to, if you want to be a recipient of a complete concrete, all you got to do is follow us on Twitter and like a thing or respond to a thing or something. And hey, guess what? Now you've been entered to become. You could get a complete concrete.
Hey
I've
Matt,
said it so many
Matt,
times.
I've got a piece of constructive criticism for you.
I'm ready.
Oh boy.
Do you want to maybe have another go?
No, that's good. That's about as.
You don't understand. That's actually one of his better ones. He's done the spiel about this every single time since we started doing it, at least 40 times. And that one wasn't too shabby.
I thought that was pretty tight. Okay, so
it's a
let's
low
randomly
bar.
generate a number. Beep boop 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 beep boop. And today's recipient is at Chex926, who is Laura. Hey, congratulations to Laura.
Congratulations,
Oh yeah,
Laura.
well deserved. Well deserved.
Let's grab my 20-sided guy and figure out what your complete is tonight. Oop. Okay. Even if you've never tried it, you are amazing at darning socks. You are a natural darner.
In this modern day and age, no one darns their socks anymore. Everyone's always buying new socks.
Yeah, I got to say, I got some socks that have been lasting for a real long time, and now there's tiny holes. And it's the first time I ever wanted to darn. I mean, years I've had these socks. I could not believe how long they lasted, and I would like to darn them. But I know my darning won't be strong enough to matter.
And Laura will
Yeah.
never have that problem. Good on you, Laura.
Yeah,
Good on
She
you,
will
Yeah,
Laura.
good on
never
you,
have
Laura.
that problem.
All right, so let's see a little bit of constructive criticism. No big deal. Just a little something to think about.
I hope it's about their bad darning.
People assume you are famous.
Okay, is that constructive criticism?
I guess so.
What it is that, see, the problem is, right, it's because it's constructive criticism because she advertises herself online as Laura Darn because she can darn a lot of things quite well. and everyone's like, Laura
right.
Darn, oh my God, you is... And,
Right.
no, it's Laura Darn. And that's the point, right? It's confusing
That's the
marketing is the
confusing
issue.
part.
And
Yes,
it's not like it's not an active thing. People just are making assumptions. It's not on you. It's on them.
No, I don't
you
know.
might-
I think she should fix the marketing.
Yeah,
I
I guess
think
if it's
I think she's
constructive
inviting the
criticism, it has to
confusion
be
on
on Laura a
herself.
little bit. Sorry, Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know. You're gonna have to get to the bottom of it yourself. But people think you're famous.
It's just something to look at. It's not a
Yeah.
huge deal, but
It's not a big deal.
you are kind of letting it happen. So it's just something to
Yeah,
think
it is,
about.
you should maybe address it.
But thank you so much.
thank you so much, Laura.
for interacting with us and being so very, very awesome. If anybody else wants to interact with us, we're Finish It Pod on Twitter at Finish It Pod. We're also on Instagram as at Finish It Pod. We've been trying to put more stuff on our YouTubes and our Instagrams too of some videos to little clips. If people are curious about the show, you can show them some of our little clips. Bill, Denny, why don't you tell us where people can find you?
Yeah, so look, you can find Escape This Podcast at escapethispodcast.com. But we're also on Twitter as at EskThisPodcast. We're on Instagram as Escape This Podcast. For Solve This Murder, it's all pretty much the same, right? You can go to solvethismurder.com or find us on Twitter. We're at Solve This Murder, I think.
If people want to listen to like some of our audio only escape rooms or Escape This Podcast, just to keep in theme, I feel like maybe a good place to start is our Christmas 2019 episode because that is an Australian barbecue Christmas.
Oh, yeah, it's very thematic as a
what?
continuation. If that's a good starting place if you like to do that. But yeah, come check us out if you like puzzles or story or character or people failing at puzzles or people succeeding at puzzles. You get both. It's wonderful.
You will not be disappointed. Add them
No.
to your list. Subscribe to them and just enjoy it.
Yeah,
You know
and
you
if
have
you're
the
escaping
time.
if you're doing the Escape the Podcast, get your notepad ready to make some drawings and play along. It's really fun.
Makes it
Yeah,
really fun.
you can actually, you don't even need to listen to the show. You can just download the entire escape room document and run it for friends, and you can be the
There
game
you
master and
go.
have them solve the puzzles, and you never need to listen to us again, but you can still engage with all of our media.
and that's something you can do across Skype or whatever with your friends. It's perfect
yeah,
for right
literally
now.
you can jump on Zoom with your
Yeah,
family
the
and
online
friends.
escape room business is booming right now that real escape rooms aren't.
But ours are free, so go do them.
Yeah,
Just
it's
run- just
everything
gonna
you've
run it
ever
yourself.
needed and you didn't even know. But thank you again both for being here. It's just a true
Thank
joy
you
to hang out with you.
so much for
Truly.
having us.
Oh my gosh, anytime.
I'm
an
so
absolute
sorry for the
delight.
edit you have ahead of you.
No, they're not going to edit it.
You know,
We're
I'm not.
we
just-
hardly
I'm
edit.
really
We're
not
not
going to
really
cut. Just maybe Matt peeing. Maybe
Yeah,
if I catch
maybe.
it, I'll cut that out. But that's probably about
Just cut out when I clapped to indicate where I had to go pee. Just cut the clap out.
just
and
the
you're
clap.
good, I
I'll cut
think.
just the clap. Perfect. All right. Well, everybody, take it easy. We'll be back next week. We'll be jumping back into the House of D, which some people call the House of Danger. And until then, take care to keep your business drier than yourself.
Bye.
I got really quiet at the end right there.
I mean, we could end with a scream, I guess, but are you really not going to edit any of the screaming?
My business! It's so wet! Ah!